And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Beausoleil versus Bridges. Step forward, please.
Doll artist Carol Beausoleil is suing computer business owner Jeff Bridges for a refund on a computer. Carol says Jeff sold an outdated computer to her minor son.
Miss Beausoleil, where is your son?
He didn't come because he's afraid to go on planes, and he just felt really awkward, and,
How old is he?
17.
He didn't come because he's embarrassed. I can understand why he would be embarrassed under the circumstances of this case.
Oh, okay,
According to your
yeah, you're
complaint,
right.
Miss Beausoleil, your son wanted a computer, and he had a friend who worked in a computer store. Two of you discussed it and thought it would be a good idea for him to go to the computer store where his friend works. Are you the friend?
Yes.
For him to buy a computer, a used computer, because he needed it for the internet.
Right.
So he went with his friend to the computer store owned by the defendant and was sold a used computer with a monitor. The whole package was $420?
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, by the way.
Good morning. And you say the computer crashed at some point and you want your money back.
Yeah.
What date did you sell the boy the computer?
Speaking to me, Your Honor?
Yes.
Your
I'm
Honor?
looking at you, I'm talking to you.
Sorry. I sold it on March 28th of 2002, and it was a used computer system.
Okay. And you told him it was used?
Yes, I did.
Did he give you a deposit?
Yes, he gave me a $50 deposit.
Did he take the computer with him?
No, not right away.
So he really bought it on layaway?
Yes.
Now, when your son came home, your son was 17 at the time?
Yeah.
Did you discuss with your son that he had found a computer that he liked and he put a $50 deposit on it?
Right.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So did you go down to the computer store
Yes.
to look at it?
Yep.
You did?
Yep. It looked brand new.
Well, you knew it wasn't brand new.
No.
You knew it was used.
It was a few years old.
When did you take the computer home?
It was about a month after. We brought it home.
Just to answer my questions. Your son isn't here,
Okay.
so I have to do this my way. Mr. Bridges, what date did they take the computer home?
Forgive me. Oh, great. I'm a little nervous. I apologize.
Don't be nervous. I only eat litigants on Tuesdays. It's just Tuesday.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carol Beausoleil says business owner Jeff Bridges sold a worthless computer to her minor son.
Go ahead.
Okay. $328 is what I have.
$328 is the first payment of $50,
Oops,
Mr. Bridges.
I'm sorry. Actually, Your Honor, if I may show these to you, because
Why? If you can't find it, why are you giving it to me? I don't get paid to get tortured, Mr. Bridges.
Well,
she
you
says
know.
it was a month later, so let's say it was a month later.
Okay,
They
yeah.
made the final payment, you gave them the computer.
Yes.
All right. Now, Miss Beausoleil, you now bring the computer home. Who made the last payment, you or your son?
I gave my son the money to go and put down.
All right, after you had already been there to see it.
Right.
Fine.
If I may, Your Honor, she actually came into this, the store to make the last payment and a check.
Well, you had to bring it in the car. We had, you know,
Oh, so you went and made the last payment.
with my son.
Fine. No, you went. You're the adult. Your
Yeah.
son is a minor. He cannot enter into a
Right,
contract.
right. Okay.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
If your son had gone in there alone, Mr. Bridges might have had a problem. But your son didn't go there alone. He went there with you, Miss Beausoleil.
Right.
You knew you weren't getting any guarantee with the computer.
Oh, yeah, there's a guarantee. I have a guarantee here.
Let me see it.
And I have this over here that I underlined.
Let's see what the guarantee is. Well, where's the guarantee?
At the very bottom.
It says all repairs are guaranteed for 30 days.
But, I mean, as far as the warranty, too. There's a warranty on it.
Listen, help me out here. Just let her point it to you, Bird. You can point it to me, and then make my life easier.
May I speak?
No.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, he reassured me, I mean, you know, because we were going to have it fixed, and then...
Miss Beausoleil, there was no warranty with this computer. The piece of paper that you gave me said that all repairs done by them are guaranteed for 30 days. You have a document there that does not have a warranty. Is that correct?
Okay, but on the day we picked it up, from that date on, we still had the 30 days.
No! You don't have 30 days. You didn't
Well, you
have
know,
a computer repaired. You bought a computer,
Yeah.
a used computer that came without a warranty, which is exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
It's getting harder. Now, you bring the computer home.
Mm-hmm.
What happened when you got it home?
So he set everything up, the technician helped him, and then the system stated it wasn't internet ready. that he needed a lot more RAM. So that was fine. So Linus offered his assistance and added these few things for the computer. And then when I called Jeffrey...
Linus? Is that your name?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah, that's my
Yes
son's
is all
name.
I need from you.
So
he came over and he added stuff for the,
yeah,
for the
which was
computer.
nice. I mean, we didn't think there was a problem with the computer. We
Good.
thought
Next.
it just needs a few RAMs. So then I called Mr. Bridges to tell him, and he says, well, you know what, Carol, the new modem, it's in the mail. It hasn't arrived yet, but you can use the one we have. But, you know, I just closed my business. He was open for a month. And I figured, well, we'll
Did
just
it
have him...
work? Listen to me. Did it work after Linus put in the RAMs or doodads or whatever it did? Did it work?
It was...
For a day, for 2 days, for 5 days?
It worked for some game procedures, but it was very slow.
I don't care if it was slow or not.
Yeah.
It's an old thing, as my husband
Yeah.
says. You know, when he has a computer and it's more than 6 months old, he says to me, oh, it's a dinosaur. I need a new computer. You know?
Yeah.
But it worked.
Yeah.
So what are you complaining about?
Well, when I talked to DSL, they said they couldn't, that we couldn't deal with DSL. So in other words, my son couldn't go on internet. He couldn't go on the internet.
What do you want from me? What do you want from Mr. Bridges? You should have made all of these inquiries before you bought the computer. Before you bought the computer. You bought a computer that did not have any warranties whatsoever on it.
Yeah, but he gave me his phone number and said, Carol, if anything goes wrong, just give me a call. So I did. He hung up on me. I had to call the police, and then he did.
What'd you call the police for?
Because he called me a controlling, and he pressed the button. He pressed the button.
So
and it's
you
like,
bothered the police with that?
No, but it seems like when he sold the computer, and after we had it in our house, oh, well, no big deal. I mean,
That's what happens. He's a merchant. Ms. Beausoleil, do your homework better the next time. If you buy something that's used, especially a computer, what I suggest you do is, I suggest you read all kinds of magazines, get a hold of Consumer Reports, get a hold of everything else, and make an informed judgment. When you're buying something used, it's no different from buying it off the street, unless you get a guarantee from someone that they will honor repairing, maintaining it, or whatever for a period of time.
Well,
The fact that he went out of business, he doesn't have to stay in business to satisfy you. If he can't make a living, he's entitled to go out of business.
Yeah.
You bought a computer with no recourse because you have no guarantee. And anything that's not in your contract, the fact that he gave you his phone number, you cannot amend a written contract, which is what you have, with an oral statement, call me if you have any problems. That's what everybody says. That's like the check is in the mail. You know, call me with any problems. Ms. Beausoleil, you should be wise enough.
Common law wife, 25-year-old customer service rep Rebecca Cardisco, for a series of unpaid loans. Rebecca says the money was meant for her children's Christmas gifts.
Order. All rise.
Yeah, this is case number 193 on the calendar in the matter of Harris versus Cardisco.
Thank you, Bird.
Quite welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated, sir. Have a seat.
Miss Harris, is this your son?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this the son that has 2 children with this lady?
Yes, ma'am.
It is your claim that the defendant owes you some money for a series of loans. She and your son, I assume, lived together or were together for a period of time because, according to what I've read, they have 2 children together.
Yes, ma'am.
How old are your grandchildren?
3 and 1. And John also has 2 stepsons, which were Rebecca's children.
Well, they were never married.
No, but he has custody of them.
He has custody of her 2 children that are not his biological children.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have custody of all 4 children. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is wrong with you? Shh, quiet.
We went through we're going through custody right now.
No. I could understand when you have a custody dispute involving parents, 2 biological parents, judge has to weigh what's in a child's best interest. But when a judge, unless the judge is educated on Jupiter, gives non-biological children to not even a step-parent, because the 2 of you were never married, to somebody else, there has to be something wrong with you. Do you have a drug problem, an alcohol problem?
I did, Your Honor. I did have a drug problem, and he doesn't have full custody of the children. It's going through social services.
Well, but who do they live with 5 days a week?
Right now, him.
Fine. So, and they go to school from his house?
Yes.
So right now he has custody?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you in a drug program?
Yes, I am.
Did you go into a residential program?
When I get back in town, I am.
So you are not now in a residential drug program?
No, but I'm in an outpatient program right now.
How long were you using drugs?
for 3 years. After I had my daughter, I got in a car wreck and had a lot of back problems.
Oh, everybody has back problems. But not everybody becomes addicted to drugs. Okay. Tell me about the loans.
Okay. Basically met Becky in March of '98 when she was living with her another boyfriend in the same complex we did. They broke up and she needed a place to stay, and she finagled her way into my house and lived with us for a couple months, and then her and John started a relationship. Then the first grandchild was born in 9 of '99, and from that point on, it started being just a big con. Every couple months, every couple weeks, she needed this or needed that or needed help with this. Then they broke up for a while, and she had her own apartment and would hold the baby almost hostage. If you want to see your granddaughter, you'll give me this. She had a car wreck in 11 of '99, and that's when she got her back hurt and started taking Vicodin and Zoma and got addicted to them. And then she got pregnant again with my second granddaughter and had her
Also no testament to his good judgment.
Yes.
Okay.
And she was born in March of 2001.
Now, when she lived with you, she also lived with you with her other 2 children.
Yes, ma'am. I supported her and her 2 children then. And then, after the second baby was born, she really got deep into the drugs. She, at one point, had 8 drug felonies on her. 2 of them were where she used my name to get the drugs. And she was actually able to con her way out of those charges. She got something called drug court, where she gets to go in and talk to somebody once a week. And
at what point did they remove the children?
In May of this year.
Were either of the girls born with any sort of drugs in their system?
No, ma'am.
Were either of them tested?
No, ma'am, so there's no way to know for sure.
Where does your son live now, Miss Harris?
My son lives in Fort Collins with the children, and I travel there every day to help him with the children.
Stand up. Who takes care of the children?
Oh, I do. My mother helps.
You work?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
Construction.
How do you support yourself?
Right now, I don't have a place to live. That's why when I go back, I'm going into treatment.
How do you expect her to give you any money?
In July of this year, Becky claimed she got a $50,000 insurance settlement.
Did
she
you?
went out and bought a new car.
No, I
Did
didn't.
you?
No, I didn't. My grandmother.
Did you get any money?
My grandmother gave me a couple thousand to get me a car so I could get a job.
And what'd you do with the car?
It broke down.
Did you ever tell Miss Harris that you got a settlement for something?
I did tell her I had gotten some money and that I would give her some. I did tell her that. But I didn't have any. And as far as...
You didn't have any what?
I didn't have any money.
So what you told her was a lie?
Yes, Your Honor.
How much money do you owe her?
I do owe her money. She did give me money for Christmas. I'm not going to say I don't owe her anything, because I do.
So I'm asking, how much do you owe her?
I don't know for sure. I mean,
how much does she owe you for Christmas?
For Christmas alone, $800. But prior to that, I gave her $500 for rent in November, $500 again rent for January and and I even had to take loans out from where I worked for me to survive because I was giving her money.
Did you expect to get that money back?
Yes,
Ms.
I
Harris,
did.
my question is, seriously, did you expect to get that money back from her? And I mean, you can get a judgment, but I'm going to ask you honestly.
Yes, ma'am.
Where is she going to get the money from?
She would actually sit there on the phone in front of me and be talking to the insurance guy. Actually sit there talking to him, but she actually wasn't talking to him. And she was having a conversation with nobody. Yes, I'll come down and get that check. At one point, I mean, several times she was supposed to pick up a check. She had John and I believing she got a $50,000 check. She was throwing money around. She went and got a $150 perm. She gave me a $100 bill one time to thank me for watching her kids because she'd been out of the house for almost 3 months. I actually thought she was getting a settlement. Then I find this letter in the house. She settled for next to nothing in November of 2000.
Let me see.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You didn't tell them that you were settling it. You just wanted the money right away.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I know. But you're doing drugs. You need some money for drugs. Nonsense. Nonsense.
And later today,
if she's the co-signer on a note for your car, then you're supposed to pay for the car.
Right, which I pay her for.
Let's go slowly, Mr. Gaffney. My father didn't raise idiots.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Rosemary Harris says her son's former common-law wife, Rebecca Cardisco, owes for several unpaid loans. Rosemary claims Rebecca is a drug addict.
So you settled this accident claim despite the fact that you had an attorney. How much did you settle it for?
I think it was around $800. The attorney said that they couldn't get any more, and if they could, it was going to take a long while.
You didn't tell them that you were settling it. You just wanted the money right away.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, I know. That's what you did. You had a lawyer. They got fed up with you because you settled with this company after they had made some expenditures. But you're doing drugs. You need some money. You need some money for drugs. Look, as far as I can see, she owes you for 3 months' rent and $800 for Christmas. She doesn't know how much she owes you. That's $2,300. Has she, I assume, not given you any child support for the 3 children?
Not as of yet, no.
Have you worked in the last 5 years?
Yes, Your Honor, and he did receive child support last month.
How much?
I gave him $500.
From where?
Between him and his mother.
From where?
I got some money from my grandmother.
From your grandmother?
She gave me some money to give him for the children. He said that he needed it for the children. And I have a job.
Do you use drugs or do you sell them occasionally?
I don't do either. I've been clean.
Judge, there is a judgment now. She's supposed to pay $575 a month.
Good. That's what she's supposed to do. Somebody else is taking care of your children. In the meantime, she owes you $2,300. Miss Cardisco, I wish you good luck in residential treatment. If you want it to be successful, you have to stay there. You can't go in there for 6 weeks, or for 4 weeks, or for 12 weeks and say it's over. You have to stay there. What is it, a year or 18 months? Is that what they want you to stay?
60 days. 60 days.
Nonsense! Nonsense! Bert and I were in family court between us for more years than you're alive. And no residential program where you just go for 60 days is going to keep you off drugs permanently. You have to go into a drug-free environment for a long time. You've been on drugs for at least 3 years. Don't kid yourself. 60 days is not going to do it. 30 days is not going to do it. You have to do it. You have children. You made children. They need you. Do you get it? They need you. Stay with it. Find the right place and stay there. You're a young woman. How old?
25.
25. Got a lot of years ahead. They can be miserable. You can have a miserable life or you can have a happy life. You still have another 50 years of happiness or you have 50 years of misery. Choice is yours. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Becky's nothing but a con.
I do have problems and I have issues, but they're not any better than I am. Any better.
I'm the primary caregiver because Becky's a drug addict.
I never kept her grandchildren from her. I was afraid she was going to try to take off or do something with them. I didn't know what she's capable of. I mean, she just made me look like an idiot in there.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gaffney versus Gaffney. Step forward.
Sunday school teacher Betty Gaffney is suing her son, 23-year-old Bill Gaffney, for stealing money from her bank account. Bill says he only took enough to make his car payment.
Mrs. Gaffney, the defendant is your son.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that your son took your ATM card, which you gave him, along with your PIN number.
Yes, ma'am.
And the reason you gave him your bank card was to make a withdrawal for money for a prescription for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And he took the card, he got the prescription filled, and then he proceeded over a period of time to clean out your bank account.
Yes, ma'am.
Your son says he just took money for a car payment, a couple of $100s. Why did you need your son to pick up the prescription for you, and when did this happen?
On the 15th of February, I had surgery prior to that, and I could not drive the car because the cast was on my right leg. So he took me to the doctor, and then when we got back, I had a prescription, so I asked him to go fill it, and I gave him my ATM card. He came back.
You gave him your ATM card, but you also had to give him a PIN number.
Yes, ma'am. I gave him my PIN number.
Had he ever had the PIN number before?
Not on this card because we changed it to make it simpler to remember, but prior to him getting married and moving out, he did run errands for us, and I never had any problems with him whatsoever.
Great.
On that day, I felt really uncomfortable when he came back, so I kind of slid the card underneath some papers on the breakfast bar.
So he returned the card to you?
Yes, ma'am, he did. And then...
How much was the prescription?
It was about $15.
Okay.
He went on about his business, and my husband asked me we only had one card at that time. My husband asked me a couple of days later where the ATM card was, and I couldn't find it. Thinking it was the medication I was on that I couldn't remember, I just said, I'll find it, I'll find it. Then a couple of weeks later, my husband asked me to transfer money I called and they said there was only like $59 in the bank. I said, something's wrong. And I called the bank back and found all these withdrawals that I knew that we had not done because we didn't have a card.
Over what period of time from the 15th of February to what date were these withdrawals made from your account?
Through the 25th.
Of February?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, can you tell me what proof you have that it was your son that made these withdrawals?
I had the loss prevention department at the credit union, knowing the ones that I had not done through my checkbook. I had them to pull pictures from the ATM cameras. The first ones that I asked for...
Can I have that envelope, please? All right, Mr. Gaffney, you say in your answer that you'd filled your mom's prescription, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, correct.
And that you also took out money for car payment.
Right, which I gave to her because it's co-signed, so it was the car payment money that comes out of her account. I just don't want to give it to her until I got paid from work in order to give it back to her because she was wanting my money for the car payment.
Mr. Gaffney, that was a lot of double talk. If she's the co-signer on a note for your car, then you're supposed to pay for the car.
Right, which I pay her for it.
Let's go slowly, Mr. Gaffney. My father didn't raise idiots. I assume she's not paying for your car. Is that right?
Well, actually, the last 6 months we have had to pay for the car and the insurance.
Why?
Because he was not working and he was not
What
paying.
about in February?
I don't remember about the car payment in February. It's been quite a while that we have been making the car payments.
So you took out how much from the bank to make the car payment?
$300.
What'd you do with the money?
I gave her back $200 of it.
How much is the car payment?
$220.
Well, you withdrew $300. What'd you do with the other $80?
Probably spent it on groceries, something like that, because I wasn't working.
Well, did you tell her about that?
No, I didn't tell her about the $300 I took out either until later when she asked me about it.
Oh, but that's all you said you took out, and that was all on the same day, is that right?
Correct.
That was all on the 15th of February, that you took out $300 that you never told her about, and the $15 for the prescription.
Right.
Is that right? So if there were pictures here that show you taking out money from her ATM after the 15th of February, these pictures would be mistaken. Is that right?
Could be.
I don't understand what that means, Mr. Gaffney. Could be. You never saw these pictures before, is that right?
Correct.
So what you're telling me is, sir, that if I were to look at these pictures and it showed, let's say, that on the 20th of February, you're using her ATM card, then that might refresh your recollection that you did, in fact, use the ATM card.
She could have went, because she was on my account, she could have went and got pictures of me using my own ATM card.
No, the bank is only sending pictures, sir, of transaction when you are using her ATM card.
Well, if she's got pictures, I'd like to see them because I don't
So
believe
is it possible, sir, before I look at these pictures, is it possible, sir, that you used the ATM card, hers, at a time after February 15th?
Not to my recollection.
Well, I want you to think hard, sir. I mean, it's much easier, Mr. Gaffney, for you to say to me, listen, my family was in a difficult position. I didn't have any money. I took back the ATM card, and I took out another $1,000 or whatever it was. I needed it. I needed it for groceries. I needed it to feed myself and my family. It was a mistake. It was the wrong thing to do. That's an answer. If it's not true, then it's not true. Then I'll look.
True.
It's not true. You never used it after that.
Nope.
Well, you used it on the 18th.
How many pictures does she have of me? Just one?
I'm asking you, sir. I see. Are you chewing gum?
No, I'm not chewing gum.
You mean it's just a nervous tick that you have?
Must be.
Uh-huh. Fresh mouth. He used it on the 18th. He stole money from his mother on the 18th. He stole money from his mother on the 24th. He stole money from his mother on the 25th. Well, at least on those occasions I can actually see it. Some of the pictures are a little bit blurry, but on those occasions he actually did. Listen,
Your Honor.
Does he have children?
One on the way.
Is one on the way?
Yes, ma'am.
So,
The credit union told me that...
you can't tell me what the credit
I'm
union
sorry.
told you. That's hearsay.
Well, I have a letter from them. He'd covered the... You can see where he was covering the cameras.
Oh, I see where the camera is covered on certain days when you're when
And the
your
first-
card is being used, but on certain days he wasn't smart enough. Can I see the statement that you have from the
Yes,
bank?
ma'am.
Thank you. Does your son use drugs?
I don't believe so. I
Good.
do know that he was drinking quite a bit. He makes a lousy drunk.
You must have gotten very frustrated.
Must get it
with
from
him.
you then.
He hasn't worked for at least 6 months?
Yes, ma'am.
Does he collect unemployment insurance?
I told him that he needed to go down and apply, and he never did, so
Why
he
is
didn't
that?
get it.
Because I didn't get fired. I quit my job. I just walked out, and I just didn't
Why?
go down there. Because they weren't supporting me, and they wanted me to work 90 hours a week and get paid for 40. So I got tired of it after about 3 months and walked.
I can understand your frustration, sir. But I had a very, very wise grandmother who used to say to me, you don't throw out the dirty water until you have clean, especially when you have a family to take care of so that you don't have to steal from your mother. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,082. That's all. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Gotcha.
She keeps talking about these photos.
Is suing her ex-boyfriend, 22-year-old Andrew Erickson, for money owed from a botched eBay sale and for damaging her car while trying to park.
All rise. This is case number 99 on the calendar, the matter of Chandler versus Erickson. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Miss Chandler, Mr. Erickson used to be your boyfriend. Did you ever live together?
No, we'd talked about it, but never acted on it.
Your complaint is threefold. You sort of got the whole kitchen sink here.
Yeah.
Wanted to get everything off your chest now that the romance is over. I understand that. Not necessarily sympathetic yet, but I understand it. About a year ago, Mr. Erickson asked you to sell something for a family friend on your eBay account. And what he asked you to sell was supposedly a rare coin. You sold it, and the person who purchased it complained that it was a fake. They had already received the coin. There was a charge back to your account. So you were out 800 and some odd dollars. Is that right?
That's correct.
That was a year ago, June.
Right.
Subsequently, you opened up a joint bank account with him. But neither he nor this family member ever paid you back this $800.
Right.
Why not?
He had promised to pay me the money. When he had the money, he barely had a job.
Barely had a job, and you opened up a joint bank account with him? Why?
It was to make money, Your Honor. It was to sell items on eBay for my aunt. I agreed to go into it with him.
Why?
In order to pay back some of the money from the coin with the items that we sold on eBay.
He had no job. It was your aunt's property, your money. Why would you open a joint account with him?
Because he would have been able to help me like package the stuff and get the stuff ready to go, and which would have been worth money. So I agreed to open the bank account for him with him so that I wouldn't get caught in case something like that happened again.
Miss Chandler, I don't think so. I think you opened up a joint bank account with him because you were smitten with him.
It was strictly for eBay, Your Honor. We didn't have any other money go into there other than stuff for eBay.
Well, that's interesting because the second cause of action that you have is for some sort of overdrawn check that he put in the account.
Right. That was for my aunt's check bounce, the one that I wrote to her for the items that she'd given us to put on eBay, you know, because we were only taking a percentage to sell it for her. And so my aunt's check bounced. And
what does that have to do with him?
Because he was on the account with me. And the reason that it bounced was because of him. He is the only person that took money out of that account.
So what you're saying to me is, Miss Chandler, that this checking account that you had was to be used for eBay, but he used it for other things.
Right, which I wasn't aware of because
That's what happens, Miss Chandler, when you open up a joint checking account with somebody. That's why I'm saying to you.
I want you to understand that I'm not suing for any of the money that was in the checking account.
So what are you suing for?
The only thing that I'm suing for is that it is negative now, close to $500, which I am partially liable for, and
Absolutely.
I didn't make any of the charges. I have all the documentation right here.
Listen to me. Then you are asking the court to find him responsible for that $500 negative balance.
Right, which he caused.
Well, I'm saying to you, you're asking me to go back, look at this joint bank account, which either of you can take money out of and either of you can put money into, and say who put money in and who took money out. And I'm not prepared to do that.
They're all charges from him.
So?
I just don't feel that I should be responsible for a negative balance that he solely caused. And he told me that this was after the fact because he told me that he took my name off the account. The negative balance only happened after we broke up.
Different story. When did he tell you he took your name off the account?
Let's see, the 9th month, September.
Mr. Erickson?
Never said that, Your Honor.
Were you no longer together in September?
That's correct.
Well, then why would you have a joint bank account with her?
We never closed the account together, Your Honor. That's all.
Then, Mr. Erickson,
yes.
If you were no longer together after September of 2005, and the withdrawals that were made were yours,
the majority
after September of 2005.
After September, I never used it, Your Honor.
Show me, after September.
From here on, Your Honor, all the highlighting in pink is all from his card. You can just flip through the pages there. And I had no idea.
Shh.
Is my name on that, Your Honor?
No, but the card number is.
Right, but I'm saying it could be her number.
If you flip to the beginning, Your Honor, there was one charge that I made while we were still together, which will be highlighted in yellow, which will show my card number. It should be for the amount of $100.
You have two totally different card numbers.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Okay, so you took all this money out for whatever. You went to McDonald's, you bought something for $2, you put it on this thing. You had an ATM withdrawal, cash withdrawal, $20. Cash withdrawal, $927. On your card, sir, $461. So you used this card after the two of you broke up?
Yes.
Okay, so why should she be responsible for that?
She used it too, Your Honor. And most of the money we made on eBay.
No, she didn't use it at all after September.
Okay, Your Honor. But what I'm saying is the stuff we sold on eBay, $70 of that was the stuff that she brought in. Everything else, I brought in. I sold on eBay, I shipped it, everything. That's what I'm saying.
What I'm saying to you is if you broke up in September, I believe her when she said you're going to take her name off the account so that she's not responsible for it anymore. That sounds logical. And your negative balance now is $500. Let's talk about this coin collection. Did you ask her to sell this coin collection
Yes,
for
I
you?
did, and it was on her account.
Yes, I know that it was on her account.
Yes.
And it turned out to be a fake. Your defense to that is she should have been smart enough to have it authenticated.
That's right, Your Honor. She should have taken it to a coin shop before we sold it and got verification.
Why didn't you do that?
It wasn't on my account, Your Honor. I wanted her to sell it on eBay. She should have had the, decency to do it herself.
Who was this friend that you got the coin from?
Friend of my mom's.
Name!
Marianne.
Shh, just a second. So I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, sir. Is she still alive?
Yes, she is.
Good. You pay for it, and then you sue her and say, I've been forced to make this payment, and you have to pay me.
Okay.
Instead of standing there and just looking pretty. You got to have something up here. Beauty fades, dumb as forever, Mr. Erickson.
Yes, Your Honor.
Works as well for boys as it does for girls.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't think that you seriously anticipated that he was going to pay you to have this car fixed. And if you did, then you were operating in fantasy land.
And later today,
I can tell the difference between a made-up story and a story that has the ring of truth to it. What she just told me has the ring of truth to it. Do you understand?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Erica Chandler claims ex-boyfriend Andrew Erickson owes for a botched eBay sale and for damage to her car.
Now, the last part of your lawsuit, Ms. Chandler, says that he damaged your car while you were together. You want to tell me about that?
Yes.
When was it?
That would have been March 4th of 2005. He told me, Your Honor, that
He damaged your car in March of 2005, and if he didn't pay you for it, I wouldn't have sold the coin for him in June. I wouldn't have opened up a joint bank account for him in July. I would have shown him his walking papers.
I understand, Your Honor, but he said he was going to take it to a friend of his to
He
have
didn't do it, and he didn't do it March, April, May, June. If he didn't do it in 4 months, then you don't do him another favor and sell a coin for him. And if he didn't do it March, April, May, June, July, you don't open up a joint bank account with him unless you're smitten. And if you're smitten, that means you... so he damaged the car a little bit. Mr. Erickson, your defense is that she should have had insurance, and if she didn't have insurance, she asked me to drive her someplace, and she should have used her insurance, so it's not my problem. If that's what you say. You know, you really should consider yourself very lucky. I don't know whether he means this answer to be a reflection of his character. If he does, you're very lucky that he's not in your life anymore.
He uses
If he doesn't mean it, he shouldn't have said it to be flip. But meanwhile, I don't think that you seriously anticipated that he was going to pay you to have this car fixed. And if you did, then you were operating in fantasy land.
The reason, Your Honor, that I didn't turn it into my insurance and I didn't take care of it right away is because I had a $1,000 deductible on my car, and I knew that it wasn't going to be $1,000 to fix that. And I didn't have the money to fix it.
So, is it fixed now?
No, it is not.
And you're still driving the car?
Yes.
15 months later?
Yes, I'm waiting for him to pay me.
He's not. He's not going to pay you. So, you know how you've looked at the scratch on the car for the last 15 months? You're going to continue to look at the scratch. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,381. Mr. Erickson?
That's right.
One of these days, someone is going to take advantage of you. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there to sort of give you a wink. You have to do the right thing in this world, otherwise things come back and bite you in the behind. Do you understand?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Not always. May not happen tomorrow. May not happen the next day, but I'm telling you this, Mr. Erickson, it has been my life experience that when you don't do the right thing and treat people fairly, eventually it comes back to get you. Do you understand?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He just uses people.
I think she's just a sad individual.
He's sleeping with men right now for money.
Oh, God. No, that's not true.
And he's not even gay.
She was sleeping with me when she was with her boyfriend.
Last time Mr. Erickson and I met, he tried to beat me and burn me with a cigarette.
He called me talking crap, and I went over there.
And he was drunk, and he was flailing like a stroke victim.
Be careful who you trust.
He's not exactly the type you take home to mom.
Stay away from, well, I wouldn't say women in general, but try to pick them better.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Benedict versus Campbell Peterson. Step forward, please.
22-year-old former nanny, Carrie Benedict, is suing former employers, 20-year-old Allie Campbell and her husband David Peterson for unpaid wages.
Ms. Benedict, your claim is that the defendants owe you money for work that you did for them in the capacity of a nanny for their one-year-old child.
Yes, Your Honor.
The defendants say that while you did, in fact, work for them for a very short period of time, your agreement was that the first week that you worked there would be a free week, which means you would not get paid for it. That's your defense. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you answer an ad that they put in the paper, or did they answer an ad that you put in the paper?
I had found them on GoNannies.com on the internet and responded and sent them an email regarding.
So you posted your ad on GoNannies.com? Is that a website?
We had two ads posted, one on GoNannies and one on eNannies.com.
Okay, when did you post the ad?
Back in March.
Do you have a copy of it?
No, I don't.
Do you?
No, ma'am.
Do you recall what it said?
It said that we were looking for a nanny for...
Because that's a whole long thing. Do you remember what the ad said?
Yes, Your Honor.
What did it say?
It had regarding their occupation and that she was a model and he was a business entrepreneur. They were an active family. They needed somebody that could be flexible in their hours and be active with their child. That it was $500 a week and that any hours worked more than 40 would be compensated.
So you answered the ad?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you have a face-to-face meeting prior to starting work?
Yes, we did have a formal interview.
When was that?
It was about a week before I started.
Give me the date, please.
I don't have the...
Do you have the date?
We met with her on March 22nd.
Where?
At our home.
Okay. What are your work hours?
I am a wedding consultant. I work from, depending on when the weddings are, I work for...
Weddings are usually in the evening?
Yes, it is. I work till about 2 a.m.
And what kind of work do you do?
I'm a marketing director for K Designers, so I'm a salesman basically.
And you work during the day?
During the day and some evenings because I'm on appointments. So.
Fine. Who were taking care of the baby before?
We had a nanny before, and she moved out of state, and so I was looking for a new one. My mom did help when she could.
What was the name of the previous nanny?
Carolee.
How long did she work for you?
She worked for us for about a month.
Prior to that, who took care of the baby?
My mom.
So it's a fair statement that you've only had one nanny, according to you, for a month.
Yes.
So Carolee came to work for you and then moved?
Yes.
Is that what you're telling me?
Yes.
Right. You know anything about that, Miss Benedict?
Yes, Your Honor, I actually do. During that interview, they had said that young girl named Carolee, she was flying from Oregon, that she had found her on GoNannies.com as well, and they wanted to have the opportunity to interview her too, and initially they weren't going to hire me, they hired her. She was there over the weekend, and they fired her, and that's why I was called, because Allie told me that the nanny that they had from Oregon had boy issues that they were not aware of, and she went back to Oregon.
So when you went for the interview on March 22nd, take your hands out of your pockets. When you went for the interview on March 22nd, you were told that they were going to interview this other girl from Oregon as well?
Yes, ma'am.
That's when you were told about it?
Yes, ma'am.
And then the other girl got the job?
Yes, Your Honor.
On March 22nd or March 23rd?
Yes, Your Honor.
When were you called to say that you got the job?
I was called at 10:30 a.m. Tuesday, March 28th, and I started at 11:30 a.m.
You're Miss Campbell?
Yes.
I want to tell you something. I don't want you to play with me. See, I can tell the difference between a made-up story and a story that has the ring of truth to it. What she just told me has the ring of truth to it. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I hardly believe a word that comes out of your mouth, Miss Campbell. I don't think you'd know the truth if it came up and slapped you in the face.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nanny Carrie Benedict claims former employers Allie Campbell and David Peterson owe for unpaid wages. The couple says Carrie was an irresponsible caretaker.
Now, who worked for you between the 22nd of March and the 27th of March?
We didn't have a nanny between then. I interviewed this girl from Oregon who I did not like, and she did not get the job.
Well, you just told me that Carolee worked for you.
Carolee-
I'm speaking. You just told me that she worked for you for a month.
Yes, she did, Your Honor.
Which month?
She worked for me between February and March.
February what?
She worked for me between February 6th, and she left March 10th.
And are you telling me that nobody watched your child between the 22nd of March and the 28th of March?
My mom did.
All right, Miss Benedict. You worked from 3/28 until what date?
Your Honor, I quit April 5th.
Why?
Because I was disrespected and yelled at for an absolutely ridiculous reason that was not my responsibility. And
when?
It was that Wednesday, just that same day. Miss Campbell had called me, yelling at me that the child had stayed the night at my home, and she was yelling at me because I didn't have the baby at her home and demanded that I bring her home in a half an hour because David had a court case and that she wanted to go with him. And I said, well, there was no communication.
What kind of court case did you have, David?
My little girl was beat up by her, and I was going to court. It was basically protective order case, my little girl.
So you had a court case?
Yes.
And Miss Campbell was accompanying you to the court case?
Yes.
Why did the baby have to be home if Miss Campbell was going with you to court? David?
Well, we wouldn't bring the baby to a court case.
Well, then why did she have to come home?
Why did who have to come home?
The baby.
I think we're talking about different dates here.
I'm talking about April 5th, when, according to Miss Benedict, Miss Campbell called her and said, bring the baby home because David has a court case. We have to leave. Is that the conversation?
Yes, Your Honor.
So my question is, why would Miss Campbell need the baby to go to your court case?
Well, because if we're going to be gone for the afternoon, someone needs to be watching her, and she was supposed to have her back at 10, and so we'd already arranged with her mother to take over at that point. So she needed to be with another sitter.
All right, fine. So let me just understand this, so I get it straight. You're saying, see, I'm not asking her any questions.
Right.
I'm asking you the questions.
Okay.
Miss Campbell told Miss Benedict to bring the child home because you had a court case and her mother was going to come to take care of the baby so that the two of you could go to the court case. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you're sure about that?
Well, it wasn't that she was coming to take care of her. We're going to take her to her mother's.
Okay, so the two of you were going to drive her to her mother's house
Before I went to court.
before you went to court.
Correct.
That's the reason why, is that right?
That's the reason why.
I want you to read what I have underlined here, sir. That's the response to this lawsuit. What does it say there?
This caused Kinsey to miss a doctor's appointment.
Yes, give it back to me.
Okay.
That's not true, is it? It wasn't a doctor's appointment that was at issue here. It was you're going to court, according to you, and taking the baby over to her mother's house so that her mother could watch the baby.
These are two separate instances, though.
Really?
There was an instance where she needed her shots and was unable to get them and did miss a doctor's appointment. And then the last one where she got fired was when, we missed a court case because she didn't bring the child back when she said she would, and we were unable to reach her for 2 hours.
It became clear to me that Carrie was too responsible to be our nanny. Therefore, I fired her that day, April 3rd.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. Want justice? Go to judgejudy.com or call 1-888-800-JUDY.
Listen, I don't know why I'm torturing these people anymore. When somebody works for you, they get paid. You work, you do weddings, you get paid. You work, you do whatever you do, you get paid. Somebody doesn't work for you for a week for nothing. And if you have your mother as a free babysitter, that's just great. But when you hire somebody, there's no slavery in this country anymore. Ridiculous. Your defense is stupid. And I don't believe you about this other nanny that you had, allegedly for a month, allegedly who went back to someplace else. I hardly believe a word that comes out of your mouth, Miss Campbell. I don't think you'd know the truth if it came up and slapped you in the face. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all. Step out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. 24-year-old house builder Sean Ward and his fiancée, 24-year-old accountant Michelle Price. Donna says while visiting the couple's home, Sean assaulted her. Sean and Michelle are countersuing for filing false charges.
Order. All rise. Now, this is case number 106 on the calendar in the matter of Ward versus Price. Ward. Price has been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mrs. Ward, the defendant is your son, and the co-defendant is his fiancée or girlfriend. Right. You have children together?
Yes, ma'am. Not together. I have a son and she has a daughter.
But they live with you?
Yes, ma'am.
I've read your complaint very carefully, Mrs. Ward. This is your husband?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, you claim that your son assaulted you in his home, and that his fiancée was present, and while there is no claim that she assaulted you, she did nothing to prevent it.
Correct.
I don't know why you're standing up as a plaintiff, just to give moral support to your wife, sir?
Well, not only moral support, but I was there also because I wanted to stop the situation with my
You
boy.
were there on the evening of this alleged assault with your wife?
Yes, I was.
Why were you and your wife at your son's home?
Okay, my wife had called my son up. She wanted to talk to him. This is through a prior conversation she'd been trying to deal with him for a while.
About what, Mrs. Ward?
Go ahead.
About the TV and the VCR.
Tell me about the TV and the VCR.
My son and his wife, Ben, were having problems. Sean had sold everything in his house. He didn't have a good job like he does now. I mean, he was doing work, piecework.
Just a second. I read your complaint very carefully. Let me see if I can make this, because this is just a background to the story.
Okay.
Your son came to live with you for a while.
Yes, ma'am.
He was supposed to pay you rent, $50 a week.
Right.
He didn't pay you the rent.
No,
Exactly.
ma'am. I did pay. Okay.
You claimed he didn't pay you the rent. And you said, when you move, you'll leave me the TV and the VCR for the rent. And then when he moved out, he took the TV and the VCR.
Yes, ma'am.
And the reason you and your husband went over there that night was to take back the TV and the VCR.
Yes, ma'am.
Now tell me what happened when you got there.
They were eating dinner. So we went in the living room while they was eating and watched TV. The children were there too, eating. They got done, came in and gave us a hug, you know, and Michelle was getting them ready for bed. And so Sean says, well, you're here, what do you want to talk about? And I said, the TV and VCR. He said, I knew that's what it was going to be about. And he stood up. I said, he says, I do not owe you anything, Mom, nothing, and I want you out of the house. Well, I have a book right here where I kept notes, and his signature is on it. And I said, son, I have proof. I opened the book, and that's when he stood up and got very angry at me and told me to, I don't know the words he said, to get out.
Get out of the house.
And actually, I didn't really believe him. I meant, he's my baby son, and I believe in his
Just a minute.
words.
So he told you to leave his house at least twice?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happened?
And I said, you're kidding, Sean. He said, I'm not kidding. Baba. He said some other word. And I said, then I'll go up and get it myself. I know I can't. Look at me, how much I weigh. I knew I couldn't get it myself.
Where was your husband during all this time?
Can I speak? I was in the living room.
So you were in the living room. So your
Yes.
wife was going to go upstairs and take the TV and the VCR. That's what she said she was going to do anyway.
That's correct.
So she started up the stairs, and what happened? Mrs. Ward.
Well, as she proceeded to start upstairs, first of all, I was shocked on the whole situation, the anger he threw at his mother. As I seen this anger, I just kind of looked at him and said, you know, you shouldn't talk to your mother that way because she is your mother, irregardless, you know, what she says or does. She proceeded to go upstairs. I went with her upstairs to slow her down and said, honey, I think we might as well go ahead and leave. And she says, well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay right here till he either gives me the VCR and the TV. And at that point, he says, well, I'm going to call the sheriff. She said, well, go ahead and call the sheriff. And he just got angry at that point. He says, well, the heck with it. As I was proceeding to hold her back a little bit from proceeding upstairs, then he turned around and got angry and turned around and says, well, by God, I'll get her out. Then he jerked her off the step, holding onto the steps, threw her on his back. I told him, do not hurt your mother. He says, oh, I'm going to put her out if that's the only way I can get her out. Then I heard a big old thud in the living room, and I come running in there. She had hit the floor. I don't know if he dropped her or what happened. She was really hurt, and at that time she was speechless. She was shocked, and she says, I am going on my own. You don't need to manhandle me anymore.
Incorrect.
So he proceeded to pick her up by the arm, straight up, head on out the door, all the way to the car, slammed her into the car. She hit her head on the door as she went in. And at that time, he just said, this is where you're going to stay, get out of here. So that's as far as it went. Why I didn't do anything, people says, well, why didn't you get a pipe and hit him over the head? First of all, he's my son. I do love him. I love my wife both. They're trying to make a choice so quickly, and I'm not really much of a match to go jumping ahead and start doing something to my son again to his house. So there's a lot of thoughts had to go through my head. And
was your wife drinking that day?
No, she was not.
She had anything to drink of an alcoholic nature? Just
no,
make sure.
She doesn't.
She don't drink. She might drink a little something. It wasn't alcohol.
Okay, so this was not alcohol related. She was in total control of her senses when she came to your house. Is that right?
Drug-induced, not alcohol.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
That was part of the deal.
Deal, Schmiel, listen to me.
I gave him a place to live, Your Honor.
Big deal. He's your child.
And later today,
the relationship was quite expensive.
He gave me a promise ring.
She was constantly asking for money.
He promised to marry me.
I felt that I was being taken advantage of, literally.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Donna Ward says her son, Sean Ward, assaulted her while she was visiting his home. Sean says his mother was belligerent and refused to leave.
You take prescription medication?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Now, you have photographs of your injuries?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like to see them. The marks that I see on your arms are consistent with being picked up by your arms.
Yes, ma'am.
That was your injury?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I'm going to let you tell me your side of the story, Mr. Ward.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, the case is dismissed for all purposes against Miss Price because she did not participate in this,
Correct.
other than to stand by and do nothing, which is the same thing you did, Mr. Ward. She's not even married to him. You're married to her. Why would you sue Miss Price?
Because I felt like, just like he did, tried to get Sean to calm down. I was hoping that maybe she...
Your husband didn't come to your defense. Why would a stranger?
Not for me, for her husband. I thought maybe she would ask Sean to stop. I mean, that's all.
She's not a party to this case.
Okay.
So, tell me your version of the events. Your mother came to get...
Yes,
your mother
ma'am.
came?
My mother came to the house. I had paid them $100 a week instead of the $50 that she was agreed on to pay. So therefore, she knew the TV was paid for. She let me take it on wheel out the house. The only reason that I had any confrontation with her at all, because both my 5- and 6-year-old kids were standing in the living room, that she had asked for them to be present. I thought maybe she had a health problem that she was getting ready to tell us about. And when she did come up with that situation, I did get angry, but I did stand up and ask them both to leave. I opened both the doors, and I said, y'all need to leave. And I might have said it a little meaner, to get out of my house.
Right.
They would not leave.
Ultimately, you picked her up and put her out of the house.
Yes, ma'am. I picked her up off the steps.
And that's what the marks are on her arm.
That possibly could be.
All right. This part of the case is pretty easy. Mr. and Mrs. Ward, you are not entitled to any damages. You entered his home with his permission.
Exactly.
Then he asked you to leave. You refused to leave. At that point, you are trespassing on his property. He asked you to leave again. You still would not leave. The law permits him, as I'm sure the judge told you in court when you were there on the criminal case, that he has the right to use reasonable force. Can't shoot you. He can't stab you. but he can physically take you and move you out of his property, which is exactly what he did. Now, the fact that I don't understand why you're there trying, if your son is finally back on his feet, and he's now got a good job, and he's got a home, and he's got 2 kids that he's taking care of, why in the world you would make a big deal out of a television set and an old VCR, I haven't a clue. But I'm not going into that.
Okay.
Because there's no logical reason why you would go to his house and create a scene with 2 children there to get back a TV and a VCR that you think was owed to you for rent.
I did not. I let the children go upstairs. I've asked him without the children being around.
I don't know why you would ask for it at all.
Because, ma'am, that was part of the deal.
Deal, Schmiel, listen to me.
I gave him a place to live, Your Honor.
Big deal. He's your child.
I know, and I'm his mom. I did not want to do this.
Well, you shouldn't have done it.
Sean knows in his heart that he said, I believed in his word. And
Mrs. Ward.
Yes, ma'am.
How many children do you have?
I have 7.
If your child has not been doing well for a while, as you said, he'd been in and out of your house, and he was finally, according to you, finally got a good job and back on his feet, what mother in her right mind would say, now I'm going to take the television set that you watch and the VCR that you watch or that the children watch in their room? There's no excuse. You could talk from today till tomorrow. I have children.
I know.
And for $250, you went to the house to make a scene?
No, ma'am, I did not intend to make any kind of
Of course
scene.
you did. Because
No,
once
ma'am.
he said to you, I'm here for the TV and the VCR, and he said, I don't want to talk about it
I
now,
only
please
started
leave, then you decided to go upstairs and you said, I'm going to take it myself. That's creating a scene.
I didn't think that I was very smart, Your Honor.
Oh, fine.
But he had
Good.
gotten a big, huge television, and I figured that he knew we were down. That TV would have helped us. We were down, and there was nobody helping us.
Stop it. Your children aren't supposed to help you. You're supposed to help them.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Donna Ward says her son, Sean Ward, assaulted her while she was visiting his home. Sean says his mother was belligerent and refused to leave.
You were arrested for assault,
Yes, ma'am.
and those charges were dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
And I assume that they were dismissed, Mr. Ward, because they ultimately determined that you had the legal right to put your mother off the property.
Correct on
Is
her
that
own
right?
testimony. I didn't even have to testify.
Right. You can't sue her.
Right.
Here, you can't sue her.
Correct.
The district attorney determined that there was sufficient evidence to go to trial with because your mother had your fingerprint marks on her arms.
Correct.
Why she proceeded that far, I don't know, but she did. So you have no right to sue her for false arrest because you did, in fact, put your hands on her. You weren't in fear of your life from your mother.
No,
You weren't in fear of life, and certainly not from
No,
your
ma'am.
father because he didn't do anything.
No, ma'am. I intended no harm, and due respect to you and her, I do love my mother. Only thing I have here is the bills that I had to pay, my lawyer bills, and
You shouldn't have put your hands on your mother.
and then been out.
You shouldn't have put
You're
your,
absolutely correct,
You shouldn't have
ma'am.
put
But
your hands
I
on your
was
mother.
looking
Pay your
forward-
own bills.
I was looking forward
Case
to
is
my
dismissed.
kids.
That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I have always believed in his word, and if you can't stand by your word, what else do you have?
He's upset with the fact that he's fighting with his mother, which no person wants to be, and I just wish it would all be over with.
I would like us to be a family. I don't know if that's possible.
What I wanted was just my name to be cleared, and that happened. So I'm very happy about it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Brown versus Valero. Step forward, please.
Home health care provider Greg Brown is suing his ex-fiancée, insurance claims assistant Christina Valero, for an unpaid loan. Christina says Greg forgave the loan when they began dating.
Mr. Brown, you claim a loan to the defendant.
Yes, ma'am.
When she was in some financial difficulty.
Yes, ma'am.
The loan was for rent. The loan was for, I think, $2,300.
Yes, ma'am.
You were paid back $200 from a relative of hers.
Yes, ma'am.
With an outstanding balance of $2,100.
Yes, ma'am.
However, she says that you forgave that loan after you started dating. Is that what your defense is?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. When did you meet her, Mr. Brown?
Early September.
Of what year?
2001, ma'am.
And when did you make this loan for the rent and under what circumstances?
She came to me, she gave me a phone call and said that she was going to be thrown out of her apartment. I gave her the loan under the conditions that she would sign an IOU and pay me back.
Can I see it, please? I assume that's the piece of paper you have.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, I typed that letter, and
I wasn't speaking to you.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Well, as we persisted on our friendship, grew into a relationship. The relationship was quite expensive. She was constantly asking for money. $100 here, $100 there. I felt that I was being taken advantage of, literally. So she had told me that she was going to a dinner party with her company in Santa Rosa, and she was supposed to come back that night.
When was that, sir?
That was September 28th, I believe.
Still during the month of September?
Yes, yes. She refused to come back because she said she fell asleep in her car and was there all night. Well, I'm not exactly a fool, so I figured that she was doing something she wasn't supposed to do. At that time, I figured her irresponsibility to the relationship was not what I was looking for, so I dismissed it.
So you terminated the relationship?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and you asked her back for the money?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'll hear from you, Miss Valero.
we started as friends, and I was in a financial difficulty at that time, and he offered that he would help us.
Who's us?
My daughter, my sister-in-law here, my son.
Go ahead.
I even typed a promissory note thinking that I would, I would really pay him. And then he said, we went out to dinner and he said he's interested in me. And we started dating, and then he gave me a promise ring, which is this.
All in the month of September?
Yes.
Go ahead, keep going.
And then on my birthday, he gave me this.
When's your birthday?
December.
Now we're jumping to December.
Mm-hmm. Well, the whole month of November, we were fine. Then we broke up for maybe 2-3 weeks because of that incident that I went out with my friends.
Could you get to your defense, please? I'm really anxious.
He promised to marry me. He asked me to marry him.
Yes. When did he ask you to marry him?
Like November.
And what did you say?
And I said, okay, we'll, if our relationship is going good,
I'm waiting for the defense.
Please.
Finally, shh. Finally, all of a sudden, he told me that his mother died. I tried calling him and calling him.
I'm getting weak. Would you tell me what your defense is, madam?
There is no defense.
He disappeared on me.
Yes.
And he told me that when we're together, the loan is gone.
He said if the relationship gets that deeper, you don't have to pay me back the money.
Yes.
So it didn't get that deep. So you have to pay him back the money. What is so hard to understand?
Yes, Your Honor, it got deeper because we tried looking for a house and we were talking about marriage.
So?
He even put away an engagement ring for me.
It sounds like he was a very nice man. He's not asking you for the jewelry back.
He is.
No, he isn't. Not in this lawsuit.
Yes, he told my sister-in-law here.
He's not asking for it. Listen, this is his one shot at a lawsuit. He's not asking for the jewelry back. He knows that was a gift.
That's right.
He knows he can't get the jewelry back. Jewelry that looks very nice on you and I'm sure you enjoy wearing. This was a loan. And if he forgave the loan, what you do is you say, if you forgive the loan, Greg, if you forgive the loan, could I have the IOU back that I signed and I typed, and I'd like to rip...
25-year-old student Katara Stewart for the cost of her wedding dress, her engagement ring setting, and an unpaid loan.
Order. All rise.
Your Honor, this is case number 196 on the calendar in the matter of Kleiser versus Stewart. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats.
Thanks, Bert. Mr. Kleiser, you and the defendant were engaged to be married. The wedding was called off because Miss Stewart had a change of heart, I gather. And you want certain things returned. A loan that you allegedly made to her. A wedding dress that was purchased, I assume, with your money. And the setting for her engagement ring, because you had a diamond that she previously owned, set by a jeweler. I assume she still has the ring.
That's correct.
All right, let's deal with simple things first. How much was the wedding dress?
It was $2.99, and there was a garment bag that cost $10.
Now, who paid for that?
That was on my credit card.
So you're still paying for it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you get the wedding dress physically from the store?
Yes, we did.
Who returned it to the store?
I returned it to the store.
Is that what you wanted him to do, return it to the store?
Yeah, he took it. He said he wanted it back, and he was going to return it for credit. And he wanted me to take the credit. But
that sounds right.
I didn't return it. He took it back.
Well, what were you going to do with it?
I wasn't going to do anything with it. I wanted him to take it back.
Fine, then you have to pay for it. The wedding dress is your responsibility. If you changed your mind, there was certainly, if he had gotten it to... If he had gotten a tuxedo for the wedding, and he called off the wedding, and the tuxedo was put on your credit card, do you think that it would have been right, would be right for you to pay for his tuxedo?
Well, if I kept the dress, I could understand that I would need to pay
No,
for
you're not going
it.
to keep the dress. You're going to get a credit. So the next time you decide to get married, you can go and buy a new dress and pick out a new dress at the same place where you picked out this dress.
Okay, but I
Do you
have
understand?
no, I have no
what?
plans to get married, so I
Well, I
don't
want to explain
need it.
something to you. Does the place that make wedding dresses also make tuxedos?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? Don't be coy with me.
They do.
They make wedding dresses and bridesmaids' dresses and mother of the bride's dresses. So the likelihood of him getting married in a bridal dress are much less likely than you're getting married again and choosing another wedding dress. That be reasonable? You owe him $309. Now, let's take care of the setting on the ring. She used her own diamond. Is there any reason why you didn't buy her a diamond?
She offered to put it into a wedding band. That way it would save some money.
Fine, well, that sounds like a very good idea. And you paid how much for that?
$250 for the ring, and then for the labor to set it, it was $50.
Where's the ring?
I didn't bring it with me.
Fine, this is what I want you to do. Take the diamond out of the ring and give him back the gold in 5 days. You owe him $309. I'm taking off $25 because the most somebody's going to charge you to take out the stone is $25.
Okay. Now, so then do I get that credit for the bridal store, the $300 credit?
Oh, yeah, he's going to give you the credit. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You have it with you?
I have it right here.
Perfect. Give it to her.
There it is.
So now we're easy with that. Take care of those two things. Wedding dress and setting. Now let's get to the loan. Talk to me.
She had asked me to put a computer on my credit card. The credit card was Best Buy. They had no interest
Were you
finance.
living together or just...
We were just dating at the time.
Okay, go ahead.
There was also a camera put on the same thing. She didn't have the credit herself, so I put it all on the same.
Camera for?
She wanted a Canon camera. It was also with no interest financing. It was something she wanted. So I put everything on the credit card, and we had agreed on a certain amount to pay off every month.
No, tell me about it.
Agreement was...
Look at me.
Every month, she would make payments basically on the 15th of each month. The total amount would be about $130. She made one payment in March. Everything sort of happened with the wedding being called off, and that sort of put an end to all that, and then she decided that everything was just basically a gift.
Now, you see how quiet you've been? Let's hear about the computer.
Okay, the computer, I had a little laptop computer that wasn't compatible with any of the printers because the UB...
Don't tell me about computers and things that they exchange back and forth. I don't understand that.
He had said that I should get a new computer, and I told him I couldn't afford a new computer. I was going to school. And so he had been looking at the Best Buy ads, and he said right now that there was zero financing, and he had purchased a TV, I believe, at the zero financing, and he said we should go look at them. And so we went and looked at them, and they were, you know, they had good deals on them, but I couldn't afford it, and he knew that. I told him I couldn't afford it. I'm a single mom. I'm going to school, and he said, don't worry about it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Maybe she doesn't want your ring.
That's up to her.
Oh, no, it's up to me. That's why you brought me the case.
And later today,
the phone rings, and I pick it up, and she goes, well, I was just letting you know that if you call my woman again, I'm going to F you up. And it was her girlfriend, Tony, calling.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Keith Kleiser says ex-fiancée Katara Stewart owes for her engagement ring, wedding dress, and an unpaid loan.
What about the camera?
I needed a camera for a photography class that we were doing, and he had brought that home to his house and gave it to me as a gift. He handed it in the box, and he said, He gave it to me and said, have fun with this.
Did you pick out the camera?
No, I was not with him when he got the camera. He brought it. I was waiting at his house.
Now, what's this $118 payment that you made to him?
That was actually for insurance because I was borrowing his car, and I told him that I would make the insurance payment, and that was an insurance payment. It wasn't any payment for a computer or camera. It was for
He
the
wants to
insurance.
show me something that's different. Let me see what you have, sir.
I've got a breakdown of everything, how it became, what the payment was. The camera was included.
All right,
in
all
the
I want to see is it. I don't want to see what you wrote out here. I thought you had a.
There is
I
a
thought
check
you had a
there
check.
for it. That is my check.
When was the stuff purchased? March 3rd?
March 3rd.
Both the computer and the camera were purchased on March 3rd?
The camera was purchased in January. It was originally intended to be a gift. She told me that she couldn't accept a gift of this magnitude. It was just too much, and she wanted to make payments.
Get a life. Give that back to him. Give it back to him, Bird. Just cooked his own goose. All right, so the camera was in January, and it was originally purchased as a gift, but then she said, I can't take it because it's too expensive a gift. Is that what you're telling me?
That is correct.
Sarah, get a life. Get a life. You lie once, you don't get a second chance. You're getting back the setting for your ring and $284. You've given her the credit, $309, which she now has. Okay? But you are entitled to that money so that you can put it back into your bank and you can pay off your credit card bill. But I've deducted $25 from that wedding dress so that she can go to a jeweler and have the jeweler take out the stone and return the setting to you so that you can go and sell the gold. Do you understand what I've done?
There's no need to do that.
Why?
Really, to take the diamond out of a ring, there's really no point in doing that. It does me no good.
Well, what did you want? You're not entitled to have her pay you for it.
I don't want to have her take a ring completely apart and have no use for it because I don't have use
Maybe
for
she
it.
doesn't want your ring.
That's up to her.
Oh, no, it's up to me. That's why you brought me the case.
That's up to
So
you.
you're going to get $284. $309 less $25. That's judgment for the plaintiff. With regard to the other things, I find they were in fact gifts. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He was very unreasonable about trying to settle anything.
I had a buyer for the computer. I was all set to go. She refused to give it back.
When people get hurt, you know, you can't try and get money back.
It didn't have to go this far. It really didn't.
It just wasn't there to get married.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gladue versus Culpepper Sedgwick. Step forward, please.
Administrative Assistant Heidi Gladue is suing her former friends, 23-year-old customer service rep Michelle Culpepper and 19-year-old customer service rep Wayne Sedgwick for trashing her belongings.
Miss Gladue, for some reason you were living with the defendants for a brief period of time with your daughter. This didn't work out. They asked you to leave. Is that right?
That's correct.
And you left, but when you left a lot of your property there. And it is your claim that at some point they took your property and threw it in the dumpster.
Yes, ma'am.
So you want them to pay you the value of the property that you claim they disposed of.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendants say they gave you plenty of opportunity to get your stuff out. They had no obligation to keep it. And finally, when you didn't come pick it up, they disposed of it. Correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, how did it come about that you and your daughter went to live with them?
I was going through some personal problems at the time, and Michelle and I had become really good friends, and I told her I had to move out of my apartment, and she said, well, you can come stay with me, your daughter, and you can come stay with us. You don't have to worry about anything, you know, just come and stay with us for a little while until you get up and off on your feet again.
That sounds like a very nice thing. She sounds like a lovely person.
Mm-hmm.
And so when did you move in with them?
It was the first weekend of July.
Okay. You moved with your daughter. Did you come with any furniture or just your personalty?
Everything that I owned that was in my two-bedroom apartment went with me. I had told Michelle beforehand.
You mean she had no furniture?
Well, she had furniture in her house too, but we had one of the rooms of the apartment that she was staying at, so most of my stuff went in there, and then in the kitchen where they did not have a table and stuff, that's where my couch went.
They're really nice people. Okay, what happened?
There was a misunderstanding one day where we were, according to Michelle, inconsiderate of her feelings.
Like?
Well, her mom was missing one morning, and nobody could find her. And Wayne, Lois, and I were sitting in the living room, And
Who's
to kind of
Wayne?
lighten the mood.
Who's Wayne?
Wayne is the other defendant. To lighten the mood, Wayne and I decided to tell Lois about this incident the night before that Michelle had bent over to pick up something and kind of fell, and we were kind of laughing about it. And she felt that we were being insensitive to the fact that her mother was missing.
So?
She asked us to leave, that we could stay the weekend if we needed to, and that she wanted us out.
Go ahead.
I told her that I was currently on unemployment at the time, so I was waiting for my unemployment check to come to me. I told her I needed some time, and she said that was no problem.
Okay.
On the 16th, I received my unemployment check in the mail. I went and I got a U-Haul truck and I got my storage area, which I have all receipts for. I told her that I would be there the following morning at 11:30, that if anything should change by that, I would give her a call. Unfortunately, that morning, my mother was admitted for pneumonia in the hospital, which I have documentation of, and I did not get out of that out of the hospital until about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I called her at work at about 3:30 and told her what was going on and that I would be there tomorrow at 11:30, and she said fine. About an hour later, she called me back and said that her and Wayne had something to do and that they wouldn't be back at the apartment until around 1:30. So I told her, fine, I'll be there between 1 and 1:30. So as far as I was concerned...
On the 18th?
On the 18th, that I would be there between 1 and 1:30. On the morning of the 18th at around 9:30, I received a voicemail message from the defendant, which I have a copy of on tape. So, and
which said?
Pretty much said that her mother had received 3 more threatening phone calls, her apartment manager received 4, and that I could get all my stuff out of the effing dumpster.
Okay. Now who's going to speak?
I will.
Good, thank you.
When everything happened where I asked them to leave, it was just like she said, you know, the thing happened with my mother. They're in the living room joking around. And I let them know that they had 1 week, exactly 7 days, to get them and their property out of my house.
Okay.
They left that day and came back, I believe, 2 days later and grabbed some clothes and stuff. After the week was up was when I started calling Heidi. Because she had called, and it was like, one day she told me, you know, oh, well, I'm waiting to get my check and it didn't come and da-da-da-da-da. And then I ended up having to, I was at my mom's for something. I can't remember exactly why, but the phone rings and I pick it up and the lady on the phone asked if I was Michelle's mother. And I said yes, because I didn't know who it was. So I just kind of went, yeah, who is this? And she goes, well, I was just letting you know, B, if you call my woman again.
I don't understand.
If I was letting you know, if you call my woman again, I'm gonna F you up. And it was her girlfriend calling. I'd already had problems with it before, and I did know the voice when I heard it. And so I went home and I called Heidi and I asked her, you know, what is this with calling my mother's house? She was on the one with my mother's number because my number, I'd called her to her cell phone from my mom's house. So
it was somebody that you had lived with?
It's my significant other, ex now.
Was that the person that you moved out of that home because you were having difficulty?
Yes.
I was trying to help her, I thought.
Your Honor, this is case number 183 on the calendar in the matter of Lucio versus Cole. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mrs. Lucio, is this your husband?
Yes.
Why don't you have a seat, sir? And you are Dr. Cole?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Lucio, you are suing Dr. Cole because you say that he performed a breast augmentation procedure for you and you were not satisfied with the result.
That's correct, Your Honor.
I gather from your complaint that this was not the first time that you had had a breast augmentation procedure.
That's correct.
When was the first time that you had the procedure done?
It was in 1992.
What happened with that procedure?
It was fine.
So why are you doing it again?
For larger breasts.
Why?
It's what I wanted.
If you had the procedure done in 1992 and you said it was fine, what changed in the last 4 or 5 years?
I just thought that I would prefer larger breasts. I had breastfed my children, and I was at a certain size. And with age, my figure had changed, and that I wanted it more in proportion.
And are you telling me that you were totally satisfied with the procedure that was done in 1992?
Yes.
Well, let me make sure. Didn't you tell me in your complaint that your breast size was different? One was heavier than the other?
That was before any surgery.
And after the 1992 surgery, both breasts were exactly the same?
Pretty much. It was from a different doctor.
I know it was from a different doctor. What do you mean, pretty much?
It was to my satisfaction, yes.
Okay. And then you consulted Dr. Cole.
That's correct.
Why didn't you go back to the doctor that you consulted in 1992 and who did the surgery in 1992?
He had moved.
Okay. Moved to another city, another...
I just couldn't find him. He had moved. He had moved from an area he wasn't... I couldn't find him. I couldn't locate him.
Did you try?
I had went to him when I had a problem with some pain, and I had went back to his office, and they were doing some remodeling around that area. And also I had had a girlfriend that gave me some information on Dr. Cole, and I had seen his work on some lip surgery that he had done for her, and I just thought I'd try another doctor.
Okay. So he came well recommended to you?
He came recommended for a different type of surgery.
So why did you decide to use him for breast surgery?
I went and had a consultation with him. I listened to what he had to say, and I just thought I would use him.
How much was he going to charge you for the surgery?
He was going to charge me originally $3,600.
And ultimately?
The $75 consultation fee, and then I also paid, the total was $3,200 with the surgical center was $800, which brought a total of $4,000.
How much did you pay for the first surgery?
I don't recall, not the total.
Do you remember?
I wasn't involved with her at the time.
Oh.
I wasn't married to her at the time, Your Honor.
When did the two of you get married?
In '95.
But you have children from a prior marriage, is that right?
Correct, yes.
You have no children together?
No.
I want to ask you a couple of questions, so stand up here. You fell in love with her the way she was, right?
Yes.
Did you encourage her to have this second surgical procedure?
No, I did not.
Did you try to discourage her?
Yes, I did.
My kind of man. You said, I love you the way you are, honey, don't do it.
Yes, I did.
Probably should have listened to him. How long do you stay in the hospital when you have this surgical procedure?
2 hours.
And how long is the discomfort period afterwards?
It's for about a week.
Or more?
Or more.
Well, in this case, Your Honor, it's ever since it's happened, she's not able to even look at herself in the mirror. I have to deal with that.
Well, I don't quite understand, because according to the complaint, your complaint against Dr. Cole is that your breasts are a different size.
Correct, they're uneven.
Uneven.
We paid the money that we paid for them to be even. They were even
I
the first
wouldn't have
time.
listened to me. At my age, I don't look so closely anymore. Even, uneven, I'm just happy that I have them, that's it.
Well, Your Honor, if I may,
yes.
The first time she had it done, they were even, they were balanced out. We informed Dr. Cole and we gave him the procedure that had been done the first time and explained to him that they were uneven and that the first doctor had compensated for the fact that they were uneven. He explained to us that he understood and that he would make the proper adjustment to make them come out even, which he did not.
Dr. Cole, I'll hear you, sir.
When the couple came to me, the chief complaint here was that they did not like the first surgeon's work at all. She complains, and I have pictures to show, that the nipples pointed towards the axilla or the armpits bilaterally.
Did you complain about that?
No, he showed that to me, but I hadn't noticed.
You hadn't noticed it?
I mean, it was the way I was.
Go ahead.
She had a large retraction pocket with a muscle pulling in on the right side particularly. The breasts weren't round or smooth. They were irregularly shaped where the type of implants that were placed were adhesed to the capsules.
I don't understand all that. Does that mean they didn't look nice?
They didn't look nice.
Okay.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
So if you want to come back into chambers with me and you want to show me what your breasts look like, I'm certainly prepared to do that.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Plastic surgeon Dr. Richard Cole denies he did anything wrong when he performed breast enlargement surgery on Sandra Lucio. Sandra says Dr. Cole botched the procedure.
Go ahead, Dr. Cole.
The chief complaint they had at that time was the shape. They did not like the shape of the breast. They didn't think it was normal or natural, and there was a lot of discomfort, particularly on the right side. The second
Well,
thing...
you said that you had gone back to the other doctor because you'd had some discomfort.
I had pulled a muscle.
Just a second. Look at me. Did you complain that you had discomfort to Dr. Cole?
That I had
discomfort?
No, he's not the one that I went back to. I went back to the original one.
I know that. When you went to see Dr. Cole, did you tell him that you had discomfort?
I had pain.
Pain. All right. You told him that you had pain on one side of your breast?
No, I had pain from the incisions, not pain from...
What difference does it make whether it's pain from the incision from the surgery or pain from the implant? It's the same thing. You had pain in your breast, madam. Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I understand.
Go ahead, Dr. Cole.
The second thing they said was they'd like to have the breast enlarged if possible. The third thing I garnished not from them, but from the records they had given me from the first surgery, that there was some inequality between the breast sizes. The doctor had estimated that the difference between the two breasts was around 25 cc's difference, which is less than 2 tablespoons. But I said, if that's the third thing in terms of your interest, I will try to get that as close as possible. When I did the surgical procedure, I had a difficult time getting the capsules, the shape of the breasts, and I spent most of my time working on that so they'd be round and smooth, the nipples would point forward. The second amount of time I tried to do was to get the implant of largest size that I could in. And I explained this to Lucio's time and time again, that I can only get the size implant in that I could get in. I could not get more stuff in the area if it would not go. And I fill the implants till they're completely full and as much size as... I do not have any prior conceived notion about implant size. They cost the same to me. There's no more problem getting them in if they're bigger. I had no axe to grind as far as I put the largest ones that would fit in her body safely and still be able to close the muscle tissue. I did that, and by the time I got the implants filled, I could not take some out of one side to make them even because it would have made one implant grossly smaller than the other. And I explained this to him, that I had done the best I could to get best shape, the most size I could out of them, and that's what my aims were. She had on one side, just for numbers, 300 cc's before I started, and I ended up with 430. That's over a third larger than what she started off with. On the other side, again, I put 430 cc's.
Do you have photographs for me?
I have preoperative photographs.
And I'd like to see the postoperative photographs.
I don't have any postop. She did not come back for the postop.
Some photographs.
Well, I'd like to take a look at...
Sir, stay right there.
Okay. Can I see the postoperative photographs, please?
May I say something, Your Honor?
Yes.
When we went to Dr. Cole informed us that he was able to put 400, the bag size, 400 cc's in her breasts and enlarge them to anywhere between, one side would be 450 to 460, the other side would be 490 to almost 500. When the doctor did the surgery, the only reason we even found out that he didn't put the right size in was because we asked for a copy of his report from his secretary. His secretary gave us a copy of the report. My wife was just devastated because he had not put the size that he indicated to us. We immediately went back into his office and said, "You didn't put the right size." He said, "Well, they no longer make that size."
Mr. Lucio.
Yes.
I can't use these photographs because these photographs don't show me anything. You showed me photographs. Your wife is wearing a brassiere.
Well, she was embarrassed to show you them without, Your Honor.
Well, then that's not proof, sir. I need proof.
That shows you that I can't wear a bra.
No, it doesn't, madam, because I can, any woman can put on a bra, and unless she puts both sides in the same way, she can manipulate one side so one side looks one way and one side looks the other way. I have one set of photographs with the way you look preoperative, and I don't have anything here. You understand that, Mr. Lucio? I mean, what I have here is something that's masked, that's covered.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Then there's something more involved here than the desire to have perfect huge breasts.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 38-year-old Sandra Lucio and her husband Jesse are suing Sandra's plastic surgeon, Dr. Richard Cole. The Lucios claim Dr. Cole botched Sandra's breast enlargement surgery, and now she faces another operation.
I mean, what I have here is something that's masked, that's covered.
Well, we have a report, I'm sorry, from another doctor, Dr. Villicana. Wait, no, it's, if I may, just, Your Honor, it's just a...
Evaluation and the cost of what it would be to correct the surgery.
I am not going to read a report from another doctor. If you want to show me another doctor's bill, a bill I will certainly look at, but I will not accept another doctor's statement in lieu of the doctor's testimony.
We were charged for this doctor's report so that he could also, you know, show you that there is a difference. Just by
He says there's a difference. Madam, he says that there's a difference.
This is a drastic difference. I cannot wear a bra that's a normal size. One size fits and the other one does not. I would show you, you're a woman, you would just by looking at me. I can't wear a bathing suit. I can't wear anything that
Have you been back to Dr. Cole?
We talked to Dr. Cole. The way he told me is that every woman is basically odd-sized. You're not born even. And he said that there wasn't much difference. To me, there is a difference. Eventually, after talking to him, then he said, okay, I agree. He would go in and reopen the valve. When we spoke to the other doctor...
When he said reopen the valve, he meant reopen the valve and take some out from one side?
No, he was going to put some more in.
Madam, I don't understand you. You know, I'm looking at the procedure, the preoperative procedure, the preoperative photographs. And quite frankly, I don't understand why in the world an apparently intelligent woman would want to have her breasts enlarged any larger than these are.
You make intelligent choices. I made an intelligent choice. You may not agree, but it was my choice.
It was your choice. It was your choice, and what's going to happen is you're going to have 3 surgeries on your breast. You know, there were women out there, Miss Lucio, who would love to just have breasts that didn't give them any trouble. 2 natural, nice breasts that didn't cause them any grief. You have children, you got a nice husband who said to you, dear, I love you just the way you are. Don't do anything. You're going to have surgery now 3 times in order to...
Well, if he would have done it properly, I would have only had the 2. I would have been satisfied with what I wanted, what I asked for.
Miss Lucio, I can't tell from your photographs the extent of the difference. So if you want to come back into chambers with me and you want to show me what your breasts look like, and I am not an expert, so I'm just a lay person looking at you and seeing whether there's such an aberration, so that there is such negligence on the part of the doctor so that I should award you $5,000, I'm certainly prepared to do that. Is that what you want to do?
That's fine.
Let's go.
Step over this way, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Dr. Cole, I must tell you that when we were in the back, I had no conversation with Mrs. Lucio with regard to this case. She was very upset. She still seems to be very upset, and what I was trying to do was to calm her a little bit and to tell her that if she wasn't prepared to proceed with this matter today, I was prepared to adjourn it unless she could compose herself. But we did not discuss the case because I know you were not with me. You might have felt certain misgivings. Do you understand?
I have no misgivings, Your Honor.
Good. Ms. Lucio, I want you to look at me. I'm jealous. I say that in the hope to get a smile on your face, madam. I will tell you that what I viewed back there was a hell of a lot better than the photographs, the preoperative photographs that were furnished to me by Dr. Cole. And quite frankly, Mr. Lucio, I think you are exaggerating to a tremendous extent what you said was a vast difference in the size of your wife's breasts. I certainly did not see it. I saw a breast enlargement that clearly was larger than what she had. The shape was much better than what she had. And whatever difference in size was de minimis to my naked, untrained eye. And I tell you, Miss Lucio, right now that I believe that if you're prepared to put yourself through another surgical procedure, then there's something more involved here than the desire to have perfect, huge breasts. And that you would be very wise to address what it is that's really motivating you to do this. To cut yourself up every couple of years in the quest to have the perfect breast. You are the mother of, you told me in the back, 3 children. Right? You've got a husband who seems like a nice guy who says, I like you just the way you are. What I saw back there was, to me, it's as close to perfect as you could want. And yet you're not satisfied, so there's something else there. And I suggest that it may need a different kind of doctor to address what would motivate someone like you, who has 3 healthy kids, doesn't have breast cancer, thank God, doesn't have anything wrong with themselves, to put you through 3 surgeries because you see that one breast is slightly smaller than the other. Insane. And for you to encourage her in that regard, sir, is wrong. You know what? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I understand.
I know you understand. You seem like an intelligent man. Don't encourage her. There's something else there in your wife's head that she's unhappy with. And if this is the vehicle that she's using in order to satisfy that, it's destructive. Dr. Cole, I don't think you made any errors when you did the surgical procedure on the plaintiff. I'm dismissing her lawsuit. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It is on Bunch versus the Cowboy Boogie Company. Step forward.
25-year-old student Marcus Bunch says he was punched and injured by bouncers at the Cowboy Boogie Company. He wants the owner, Jack Wade, to pay his medical bills.
Order. All rise.
Your Honor, this is case number 199 on the calendar in the matter of Bunch versus the Cowboy Boogie Company. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, gentlemen.
Mr. Bunch.
Yes.
And you are, sir?
Mr. Wade.
Shh. Mr. Wade, you are the owner of this club?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Mr. Bunch, your papers indicate that you were assaulted by Mr. Wade's employees while you were a patron at the club.
Yes, Your Honor, that's true.
Want to tell me what happened, sir?
Me and a bunch of friends went that night to take some dance lessons to have a good time at the club. And
is this a dance club?
Yes, it is. And we took the lessons, and afterwards we were dancing, and a good song came on, and we decided that we were going to dance with the rest of the customers that were up on a stage or a platform area. And when we got up there, me and my friend John, we danced for about a half of the song. And at that point, one of the bouncers came up and told us that we had to get down. So we did. And we asked him, why could the rest of the people dance up there if we couldn't? And he said, simply because they're girls. And John protested. He said, well, that's not fair. You know, in our society, it's supposed to be equal. If they can dance there, we should be allowed to also.
So there were only girls up on the platform?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So he said if he didn't like it, take it up with the management or get the heck out of the place. And we turned around and we started to walk away, and I said, all right, Haas. And that was probably a mistake. I called the guy Haas. But I don't think that was a very harsh thing to call him. And we walked away and we went back to our table. And at that point he said, all right, you guys are out of here. And he turned around and he walked away. So we just kept going back to our table, and we sat down and we were with the rest of our friends. And he came back instantly with a bunch of guys wearing red shirts that said Cowboy Boogie Company, and he grabbed me briskly and picked me off of my bar stool and started escorting me out of the establishment. And I went peacefully, and in front of me was John, carried hog-tied, and they were slamming him around, running him out the front door, knocking over some of the other customers that were in the place, and they threw him out the front door.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, we were underneath the umbrella in front of the establishment, and we walked past that, and we were actually in the parking lot now. And John turned around and said, "I want my cowboy hat." And
This is John.
This is John.
May I say something?
Not yet.
That night, he had just purchased a cowboy hat from this establishment, and he lost it that night.
Okay.
So he was upset. They didn't want to let him go back in the club to get the hat, and they were arguing, exchanging words at each other. And at this point, to remind you, we were past the umbrella out in the parking lot. At that point, one of the bouncers, I believe it's this guy here.
Which one, in the red shirt?
In the red shirt, yes, ma'am. He blew his top and ran out. He was by the front door. He ran out and slugged him in the chest, knocking him down to the ground. And his girlfriend and I were standing next to him, and he said, excuse my language, "F you too, and he punched her in the chest and knocked her down the ground also. And then when he turned towards me, at that point, I had just instantly, I defended myself, I hit him, I turned around, and I wanted to get the heck out of there. There was too many bouncers there. I'm not trying to pick a fight. I just wanted to be safe and get out of there. Then...
Just a second. So let me understand this, Mr. Bunch. You hit the employee first.
Yes, ma'am, after he had hit both of my friends and turned towards me.
You hit the employee first.
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead, then what happened?
Okay, so I ran through the parking lot as fast as I could.
So you hit him, and then you ran away?
Yes, I ran as fast as I could. And then there was a bunch of people chasing me. And I zigzagged through the parking lot, I ran different directions. Finally, they caught up with me, and they beat the crap out of me. They knocked me down on the ground.
Order.
I curled up into a ball, and they stomped me, they kicked me with cowboy boots, or I don't know what, but they broke my finger. They gave me a subcutaneous hematoma in one of my other fingers. They kicked me in the back.
Just a second. When you say a subcutaneous hematoma, it meant that one of your nails turned black?
Yes, and they had to, in the ER, they had to burn a hole through my nail with an electric probe so the blood can come out. It was very painful. They broke my pinky in 2 places. I had numerous bruises and scratches and kicks, and I had a bump on my elbow that lasted for 2 weeks. I was just in pain.
Where did you hit this gentleman when you hit him?
Somewhere in the face.
And I assume that you hit him with your fist?
Yes, I did.
And you didn't stick around to see what kind of injury there was?
Not at all. I was running for my life. I wanted to leave that establishment. There was too many bouncers there. And I'm not a fighter. I was just defending myself. This guy hit both of my friends and turned towards me. Look at him. He's 6'4", 300 pounds and muscular. I'm getting out of there.
You should have gotten out before you hit him, Mr. Bunch.
He turned towards me and was coming at me.
Listen to me. You should have, at that point, if you're scared to death of him, you turn around as fast as your little legs can take you and you start to run. If you, I mean, just think about it, Mr. Bunch.
You're
if you're
absolutely
scared
correct.
to death of somebody, you are large, aren't you, sir?
Yes.
Scared to death of this man. And you probably had to swing up to hit him, right?
No, he was done. He was coming towards me. I didn't have a second to react. He hit both of them, turns towards me, and he was down at my level, ready to hit me too. And that's when I just immediately hit him and ran. I didn't have a second to react. I couldn't believe, I was in amazement that this guy ran from the front door, ran out and hit the girl that was only 115 pounds and slammed her to the ground. I couldn't believe it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I have a permanent disability. My finger is permanently bent.
Is that the hand that you hit him with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marcus Bunch wants his medical bills paid after getting punched by a Cowboy Boogie Company bouncer. Owner Jack Wade says his bouncer has a different story.
Now, you, sir, weren't there that evening.
I was there, but I didn't
But
see
you didn't
the
witness
incident,
this. But you did.
Yes.
And who are you?
I'm Travis Kelly. I was also there.
Well, let's hear. Stand up here. You first.
Okay. I was at work one night, and I remember this night. It was a Wednesday night, which is usually pretty busy. And Travis, who works the pit, called me down.
What's the pit?
That's where, in front of the DJ booth. That's where we have the platform where we just allow girls to dance.
Okay.
He says he got 2 guys on there that won't get off. So we went out and we asked them to leave. I mean, to get off the platform. And When one of the guys was coming down, he shouldered Travis. Okay? So in other words, he like kind of assaulted him with his shoulder. So we wanted to take him outside just to talk to him, which is standard practice.
That is not
We don't
true.
immediately throw people out. So in the course of escorting them to the door, they become very unruly. So we had to grab them, restrain them, and protect the other customers and get them outside. When we get them to the front door, I have to keep the door open. And one of the guys was coming at me, and I put my arm out to stop him. They wanted to come back in the club, and they were coming after me. So I'm just, I'm just trying to protect myself. And then the girl came after me, at me. Obviously, if I hit her, I would have killed her. Obviously.
So what'd you do to her?
I just she ran into my arm and
she
fell
fell
down.
back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of these guys, somebody hit me from the side. I didn't even see it coming. Just it really was nothing. And then he took off running.
Well, that was him.
That
in
was,
case you
I
didn't
guess
know.
it was. Yeah, it didn't even hurt. It's like somebody slapped me in the face.
So he took off running, and what happened?
I don't have an answer for you there. But I saw the police down there. They were down there talking to the police. And
Nobody
they wanted to
chased
arrest
him?
me. I didn't see. I just got hit me in the eye. So.
Did you chase him?
No, I didn't chase him.
I don't know who it was. It was a bunch of guys in red shirts. That's all I know. They had a lot of employees wearing red shirts, just like the one he's wearing today.
Judge, all I know is I was the only one that was injured. I mean, had any type of injury.
That's
And it
not
wasn't
true.
a big deal. It wasn't a big deal to me.
Well, you said he were hit on the side of the face and didn't even
Yeah,
hurt.
that's correct.
And you can't identify either one of these two people as being people who chased
No,
you.
ma'am, I can't. I was running for my life.
And all you saw was were people who were beating you up in red shirts.
I saw the red shirts. They stand out.
Red shirts?
Red shirts.
Okay. You want to stand up here,
Yeah.
sir?
I'd like to say, first of all, when he said we got off of the bar, the platform, nobody, neither one of us put a shoulder in either one of them.
I didn't
And then
think
we
that-
went back to the
I
table.
really didn't think that you did. Didn't you
No,
see the
we
look on
didn't.
my face?
No, we didn't.
But I want to know this, gentlemen. Have you been to this establishment before?
That was my first time there.
And
I
yours?
had been there before.
Well, if you were there before, you sort of knew the rules. Only girls are up on the platform.
I
Why
didn't
did
know
you-
that was the rules.
Well, you took a look up on the platform. How many people were up there?
A lot of people up there.
All girls?
It was a very popular song. No, I
Just
don't
a
know
s-
if it was all girls or not, but there was a lot
But
of
it
people
looked
up
like
there.
all girls. You just told me, sir, a moment ago that you were offended because in this country there shouldn't be any difference between boys and girls, and you should be allowed to be dancing up there too. So
When
that's
they
why
kick-
you were offended.
After they had pulled us down, we looked up there and said, why aren't those people being kicked down also? And that's when he said, because they're all girls.
You mean you couldn't tell that before he told you that they were all girls?
I honestly didn't take a number. I didn't count them and say, look, there's all girls up there. Let's go up there and dance with all these girls.
And what about you?
Yeah, I saw a couple of girls up there, but I'm a guy, and maybe I wanted a date, so I got up there. But the fact of the matter is, when he grabbed me, two guys around my ankles, two guys around my wrist, another guy choking me. If they would have asked me to leave or told me, and threatened me, like, if you don't leave, I'm going to throw you out. But they didn't say that. They just came over, they threw me down, and then when they got to the door, they threw me past the umbrella.
Did you sue them?
Did I know?
How come?
The lawyer said he didn't have a case.
Just a second.
At the time, I had, and it was in a
asking
car
him-
accident. I went to a lawyer. I explained it to the lawyer. He checked into it with him, said they went bankrupt, so there was no case.
So you
to
didn't
follow.
sue them?
So no, I did not sue them.
This place is making a ton of money. They have advertisements every night. They
No, I'm
have a
asking you-
lot of people there,
Listen
and
to
yet
me.
they're in bankruptcy.
Listen to me, sir. I'm asking him some questions. He's a perfectly intelligent man. He can answer these questions himself without assistance from you. Your date. You had a date that night?
Yes, it was my ex-girlfriend.
Was she thrown to the ground?
Yeah, he hit her with the palm of his hand very hard. She walked
Like
up.
this?
Yeah, with all his force. He hit her. She flew back at least 5 feet, and comes up to my chin. 110 pounds. He had no reason to hit her. He had no reason to hit me. He struck me first. For no reason. I walked back up. I asked if I could get my hat. He said no. We had exchange of words. I stand back. I step back. He came at me, hit me. Then my girlfriend was standing next to me. He proceeded to hit her with the palm of his hand. She had damage to her chest. She went to the emergency room also.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If I hit her like she said I did, like this, I would have killed her.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Marcus Bunch says he was acting in self-defense when he hit a Cowboy Boogie Company bouncer.
Now, Mr. Bunch, you are in the difficult position, sir, of having thrown the initial punch in this case and then seeking damages. And seeking damages against somebody that you cannot identify other than red shirts. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Well,
I do think, though, that this is his responsibility as a business owner to interview his personnel, to make sure that they're qualified, to train them properly so that they do not lose their temper.
You have two problems, sir. A, you threw the first punch at his employee, and B, you cannot, to my satisfaction, identify his employees as the people who beat you up. It seems strange to me that somebody who was badly injured, as you say you were, did not take themselves down to the police precinct on the very next day and demand to file a complaint against the people who you say assaulted you so that they could be arrested and prosecuted for assault. You clearly knew enough how to file a civil proceeding, which requires the same kind of acumen.
I'm just learning this. I'm only 25 years old. I wasn't aware of my options. We tried to file a complaint against these people when the police were there, and they would not allow us to do so.
I don't believe that that's true.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can't file a complaint against him, sir, because I just told you, I'm not repeating it, you assaulted him.
We wanted him arrested for assault.
Who's we?
Myself and Michelle Chippy.
I'm not interested in them.
Okay.
Their case is not before me. They chose not to sue anybody. Only you chose to sue them.
Now, I can establish that they were bouncers that worked for this club, that were the ones that came out.
I'm prepared to hear you.
Okay, because in the police report, it states that, and I can give this to you. And
I'd like to see the police report.
And it established that they were the bouncers that detained me until the police arrived.
Just a second. Well, the first thing that you say is that you've outlined for me. It says, he ran but was caught by unknown security employees and held pending our arrival. You've outlined that, right? And that statement is attributed to you. It says, Bunch said. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
So then you said that. It's the same thing that you just said to me here. You indicated to me that this report would prove that it was employees who did that. So far, this is just your statement to the police. Am I correct?
So far, yes.
Okay. Who's something SSMAN?
Suspect Hammond, which is John Hammond here.
That's you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. The only thing this says is Suspect Hammond related the same information and added that they chased down Suspect Bunch after Bunch fled after striking Judas, that's you.
That's me.
In the face. Is
Yes,
that
Your
right?
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Did you see that whole incident where they were beating him up, sir?
I couldn't see. I saw them chasing after him. I did not see them beat him. I saw them chase him.
Ah, okay. Who's they?
The bouncers of the Cowboy Boogie.
Who are not here?
Who are not here.
Okay.
But if they were here, I could tell you who they were.
Okay. But you didn't see any of them assaulting him?
Not behind it. No, I did not. Not out in the parking lot.
Okay.
We were on the ground behind cars,
Yeah,
Your
I
Honor.
couldn't see behind
Okay.
I was very far away from the front door at that point.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to explain to me. I'm asking whether he saw anything, sir. Seeing something gives me information. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
This doesn't prove to me, sir, any of the things that you said that it was going to prove. We're still faced with a situation where you assaulted his employee first. You punched him in the face.
As a direct response to a threat. I thought I was going to
I don't believe that,
Your
sir.
Honor.
What I believe happened was you saw your two friends getting shoved hard. I don't believe he punched the girl. I believe, even according to this witness,
Can I
he
say
pushed
something,
her.
Your Honor?
You say nothing. Say nothing. You've told me your story, Mr. Bunch.
Can I show you the push that he did? Can I show you
To
how
whom?
he pushed her? Michelle Chippy.
It doesn't make any difference, sir.
He went like this and like that in her chest. If you call that a push, I call that a punch. Whether it's an open fist or a closed fist,
Then you
that's a
punched him in the face.
Because he turned towards
I
me.
don't believe that, sir. That's
Your Honor,
what I
I'm
believe.
not a fighter. I do not have a record for fighting. I've never been arrested for such. I'm not a fighter. I wanted to get out of there. He came towards me
Sir,
before
you
I
started,
had a
listen to
second.
me, Mr. Bunch. You
Yes,
started
ma'am.
this whole problem, sir, when they told you to get off the dance floor, and you started by saying to a man who's probably twice your size, okay, hoss.
We got down.
Just a second. Just a second. That's what you just told me you did, right? And after there was an altercation, and I'm not so sure whether you all acted absolutely appropriately, you know, in making a big deal out of this thing. But there's no question that you hit him first.
But
And
he
I
hit
don't
two other
believe,
people first.
sir, he didn't hit her.
Yes, he did.
I had enough. Mr. Bunch, this happened a year ago. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
This happened a year ago.
Yes, Your Honor. And I have a permanent disability. My finger is permanently bent because
Is that
of
the,
this.
just a second. Mr. Bunch, is that the hand that you hit him with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good. This case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. There you go.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy,
He's on Wisenan versus Concepcion. Step forward, please.
bail bondsman Gene Wisenant claims Frank and Eleanor Concepcion owe him bail money and that Frank bit his finger when he tried to arrest him.
Order. All rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please.
Judges number 277 on the calendar in the matter of Wisenan versus Concepcion. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am.
Mr. Wisenant, you are a bail bondsman.
Yes, ma'am.
This lady came to you because her husband, I suppose that's you,
Yes.
correct, was arrested.
She actually, Maria is my subagent who actually wrote the bond.
You came to her.
Well, I called her.
Because your husband was in jail. What was he arrested for?
For possession of stolen property.
Possession of stolen property is what he was arrested for. He was being held on how much bail?
$25,000.
$25,000.
There's one other charge there, Your Honor. It was PC 273.5, which is domestic violence.
So possession of stolen property and beating up his wife.
Actually, I believe it was his sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law. Because that's heavy bail. $25,000. Anyway, you charged 10%.
That is correct.
And you agreed to post the bail for him.
Yes, ma'am.
So he could get out of jail, right?
Right.
That was a nice thing for them to do.
It's her job.
Your fee, that's his job. For which he gets what?
For which he gets 10%.
Paid.
Right. It's paid.
And at the time your wife came in, all she had was $1,300. But they agreed to go ahead and post the bail anyway.
Right.
Correct. And there was an agreement. And what was the agreement about the rest of the bail, sir?
It was a signed promissory note to have the remaining balance of $1,300 paid in full by May 2nd.
And how many days after that?
That was actually 4 days after the bond was posted, and that was a date that was agreed upon by Maria, the agent writing the bail, and Eleanor.
May I see it, please? So, Miss Concepcion, you signed this promissory note to come in 4 days later and post the rest of the bail. Right?
Right.
Did you?
I tried. That I didn't. No.
You didn't?
No.
And you, sir, got out of jail.
Yes.
Did you go in and post the money?
No, I didn't. I told her, directly, I told her, I said, there's no possible way that I'm going to be able to have that money for you. Now, is there a way that we can make arrangements for the balance. Payments such as, you know, $200 a month.
Just a second. These aren't your relatives. They're in business.
But Your Honor, she told me that if I had any problems making the payments, she could make arrangements.
Correct. But when I had also spoken to her and we did the promissory note, I told her to tell me the date that she can come up with this money. So I gave her an option to either pay it off in full or do payment. And she told me that she could come up with the money by May 2nd, which was a couple days later.
Okay. Now listen. The most important thing for you was to get your husband out of jail.
Yeah.
You signed this piece of paper that promised that you would make the payment to the bail bondsman, who stands to lose all the money, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Not just this little bit of money, but $25,000.
That is correct.
Because you are ensuring that he's going to show up and do the right thing.
Yes, ma'am.
That's his business. Okay. So you got what you needed momentarily, which was to get out of jail. You promised whatever you had to promise, and then you didn't pay it. How many times have you been arrested? Can't try to count on one hand?
No.
How many
I haven't been
times?
arrested that many times.
So you know the drill?
Not really.
Are you sure you do? How old are you?
37.
You've been arrested more than 3 times, sir? Make sure you tell me the truth.
Actually about 3 times.
Yeah, the money issue was actually secondary on...
I know.
Okay.
Because your lawsuit says that he didn't show up.
To sign the paperwork, that is correct.
To sign the paperwork, and he was supposed to.
There's also
That's this other form.
Can I see that, please?
His wife signed. Sign that.
Now, you signed this paper agreeing that you would produce your husband in their office within 48 hours of his release to sign the remainder of the paperwork. Right?
Right. But she told me, because I didn't have the money, she told me not to go in.
Did you ever tell her not to come in?
No.
Baloney! Baloney! She never told you not to bring him in to sign the rest of the paperwork? Paperwork is what he has to have.
When I spoke to her, why wouldn't she tell me this? She told me she
Just a second, sir. Were you told by your wife that you had to go in within 2 days to sign some paperwork?
No.
Baloney. Baloney. You
I
know,
don't think
there's a
so.
certain common sense, sir. You've been in jail before, you've been arrested before, you've had bond posted before. You know the drill.
She told me about taking a picture, yes, okay.
Right.
But like I said, I
Just a
spoke
second.
to this woman
Yeah.
personally.
Your wife told you that you had to go in and sign some paperwork and have your picture taken. So the answer is yes. Right?
Picture taking, yes.
Did you go?
Did we don't know?
No, because we didn't have the money.
This says when you're released within 48 hours, you have to come to his office. Is that what it says?
Correct.
It is in English. Clear as a bell. So don't tell me about going to court the next
I understand
day.
that, but she told us not to come in because we
There was a lot
making
of
a trip
things
for
said
nothing.
verbally.
I would call her and she would tell me she would come in the next day. There was no one, she never ever came in. I kept calling, telling me that her check or whatever, for whatever which reasons, she didn't have the money. And I told her, okay, if you don't have the money, come in and we can make payment
You
arrangements.
told me
but
you were
he
gonna
needs
arrest
to
me.
Come in.
Hey,
If the paper on the agreement said, on that agreement that we just handed to you, said if he didn't come in within 48 hours, then we could arrest him.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He's trying to put his finger in my eyes. Instinct, I bite on that finger.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bail bondsman Gene Wisenant says Frank Concepcion owes him bail money. When Gene went to collect, Frank says there was an altercation over a gun.
Tell me what happened when you went to arrest him.
Here we go.
There were 2 times. The first night was on a Wednesday, the 14th, I believe. I went to the mother-in-law's house, which was listed as his residential address. I went there, I saw Eleanor, and I saw his mother-in-law, and a number of other people there. I went through the house, he wasn't there. Gave Eleanor and her mother my business cards with instructions to have Frank call me when he came back in.
You're a liar, man.
Shh. Hey, I want you to be quiet, sir. Don't talk to him. You're going to have a chance to speak. How much after you posted the bail for him did you go to effectuate the arrest?
About 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks.
Okay. And in that 2.5 to 3 weeks' time, had he come in to make any payment whatsoever?
No, ma'am. As a matter of
Had
fact,
his wife come in to make any payment whatsoever?
no, ma'am.
Okay. So you went to arrest him. And tell me what happened when you got there.
Got to the house. We were watching the house. Maria was the driver. I was going to effect the arrest. I had Maria move the car. I was standing in the shadow next to the side of the house when Maria pulled to the light to square the block and come back on a different location. Frank's, as I find out later, it was Frank's younger brother comes out, sees her pull away, yells something out. Frank goes running across the street, out to the front door, across the street to his parked car. That is correct. I yelled out his name. I yelled his name again and ordered him to stop. He turned around, looked over his shoulder at me, ran back towards the house. I stopped him in the driveway, side of the house on the side driveway. We rolled to the ground. As we were rolling, I felt his hand go for my gun. I clamped his hand. At that point, I basically gave up on the encounter. My whole goal, my whole purpose in life at that point was to hold the gun in the holster, not allow the gun to get released, get out. I had his left hand clamped to my gun and my gun pressed down in the holster. He was able to straddle my body, get his right hand around my throat.
Tell the truth now.
I'm going to throw you out of the courtroom. Take your hands out of your pockets and be quiet. You're going to have your opportunity, sir, to tell me your version of the story. How many times do I have to tell you that?
Okay, continue.
He's got his hand on my throat and his other hand on my gun. I put my hand up to his head. I can still feel the ridge of his eye socket under my thumb with the intention of rolling my thumb in. I rolled my hand down across his face to rock his head back and force him off of me. When my hand came down across his face, he clamped down on my left index finger. Still have a scar on each side. He clamped down. I felt his jaw rake across it. His brother then got up to my right side. I felt his brother pry at my hand on the gun, and either I hit him with my elbow or I kneed him with my knee.
Must be his auntie.
My hand got free at that point.
Do me a favor. Would you stand behind him? Because I want to get this case over with, so I don't want to throw him out of the courtroom. But maybe your presence is there, Officer Byrd, will remind him to keep his mouth shut until it's his turn.
I don't think so.
Go ahead.
When he yelled out, I was able to get my hand free. I pried his hand off my throat. At that point, I guess he felt he was losing control. He tried to stand up. Because I was holding both of his hands, he pulled me up as well. His brother put up both his hands on my chest and pushed me back to the ground, struck me, trying to hit my groin missing. Frank got up, took 2 or 3 steps. I either pushed or punched his brother again to get him off of me. Frank took a step back and yelled, "Don't hit my brother." I was able to get up. Frank ran to his car across the street. Maria was parked in the middle of the street on the phone with the local police department. She witnessed the whole thing. Frank got away that night, and then I went straight from there. Police officer responded about 10 or 15 minutes later, took a report, and I went directly to the emergency room to get medical care for my finger.
So the remainder of your lawsuit is for the bite?
The bite, yes, ma'am.
Okay, now it's your turn.
Okay, first of all, we talked on the phone, and this is after 2 weeks. We spoke on the phone. I have not yet even spoke to this man. I spoke to her, and her and my wife were talking. We agreed to come down to their office at that evening. The call was about 4 o'clock. We agreed to be there about 8 o'clock. I left the house. I told my wife, I said, we'll go down there, meet me down there at 8 o'clock. I have to go to my father's and run some errands, okay, for my father. Okay, this was at my father's place. Okay, he came, I went outside. I was leaving after I ran the errands for my father, okay. This was nighttime already, it was dark. I go to my car, it was parked across the street, okay. As I'm going across the street, it's dark too, there's not many lights out there. Now, he's hiding behind a bush, okay. All of a sudden, I'm walking across the street, I'm in the middle of the street, and somebody says, "Hold it. You move it, I'll shoot." He got his .357 out, pointing right at me, okay? And I look at him. I don't know who he is. He never identified himself at all. Okay, I don't know who the heck. He could be trying to rob me. You know, I run, I take off. As I'm running back towards my place, okay, the garage, I turn around, because he's right behind me, I turn around and smack him one. Okay, then I pick him up and I throw him, body slam him on my garage. Okay, at this point, he's going for his gun again. Now, when he goes for his gun, I put my elbow up in his throat, okay, and I'm grabbing for the gun, because I'm going to take it from him before he shoots me.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're wrong about that.
I'm wrong. I was wrong once in
Your Honor,
1947.
You're wrong again in 1998.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Bail bondsman Gene Wisenant says Frank Concepcion tried to jump bail. When he tried to collect, an altercation ensued.
Just tell me your version of what happened that day.
This man's going for his gun like it was the thing to do, like he's some super cop or something. You ain't about nothing, though. But I'm going to tell you, okay, as I'm going for his gun, all right? And this time he's got, like he said, he's trying to put his finger in my eyes. Instinct, I bite on that finger, all right? Then I pull the gun out from his holster and toss it in the bush. Now, I don't want some accident to happen because this guy's acting like a fool out. Would just pull out his gun, you know, like he thinks he can do this. I haven't jumped bail. I haven't missed my court date. I haven't even had my court date yet. And he's coming at me with a gun?
Okay. Now, I have a couple of questions for you, sir. You were running errands for your father, and you were supposed to be at his office. Shut up! Just pay attention to me.
Okay.
You were supposed to be at his office at 8 o'clock. That was the plan. That's what you told me, correct?
Right, correct.
Did you go to his office at 8 o'clock? The answer is either yes or no.
No.
Right. Because when he came to your house, it was after 8 o'clock, correct?
No, it was before 8
What
o'clock.
time? What time?
7:30, 20 till.
But he had came to
Just
the
a
house
second.
before
Just
me.
a second. Hey,
I was there.
Just answer my. Listen
was
to me.
there.
Listen to me. Truth of the matter is, the two of you had absolutely no intention of going to his office
Yes,
at
I
8 o'clock.
did. I was going. It only takes 15 minutes to get there.
Oh, baloney.
They had no intentions of meeting us at their office.
It was all set up.
Listen to me. It may have been a setup, but you had no intention of going there, paying the money, and having your picture taken, and
It
filling
wasn't
out the
about
rest of the
paying
paper.
money. It wasn't about paying money.
It's
It was
making
about
a
signing
contract.
a contract to pay $200 a month
All right.
for the rebalance.
Okay,
of
let's go. Let's finish up that. And let me get to the next thing that's troubling me about your version of this story, sir. When you first started to tell me the story, you told me he was hiding in the bushes, which means that you saw him hiding in the bushes.
No.
And, well, then how did you know he was hiding in the bushes?
Because I crossed the street and he said, "Hold it, move and I'll shoot." That's when I looked and he
okay.
was hiding in the bushes.
I see. So you saw him hiding in the bushes. What did you say no for? You saw him hiding in the bushes, right?
Okay.
Then you just went through a whole story about where does he come off taking out his gun. It's only a bail, and I hadn't missed my court date. Isn't that what you just told me?
That's correct.
Right. Just a minute. But then at the beginning of the story that you were telling me you thought he was a robber. There to rob you. How could he be a robber and a bail bondsman at the same time?
He never identified himself. I told you. You're not listening to me.
No, I'm listening to you, sir.
No, I told you he did not identify himself. He never had.
You said to me, where does he come off pulling a gun, a .357 Magnum on me, as a bail bondsman?
I'm speaking after the fact already, okay?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Listen, I've heard both stories. A, you owe him the money for the bail, because that's what you promised, madam, to pay him. That's the written... Stand closer to him.
Stand as close as you want, brother.
That's what you promised. That's what you agreed. You agreed to come in and pay $1,200, right?
Right.
So that's what you owe him. And what I am finding, based upon common sense is that he got out of jail and he said, let him come find me.
No,
That-
you're wrong.
Sure.
You're wrong
Didn't
about
come
that.
in. I'm wrong. I was wrong once in
Your Honor,
1947.
You're wrong
But
again
since
in
1947, I didn't. You are suing, sir, for assault. It's
Yes,
clear
sir.
to me from his own version of what happened that he knew exactly who you are when you stopped him, that he was avoiding you, that the family was avoiding you, and that you were effectuating a lawful arrest in order to secure your bail, because it was now 2.5 to 3 weeks, and the person for whom you had posted bail failed to come in to complete the necessary paperwork and failed to keep that part of the agreement that provided for the remainder of the 10% of the bail. So you had an absolute right to go in and effectuate an arrest under the laws in this jurisdiction, and you were assaulted. And I believe that he knew who you were, that what he should have done was stop immediately. He did not do that. Based upon his own statement.
Do you believe he identified himself?
I'm not here to answer your questions. You answer my questions. Based upon his own statement, he turned around and struck you before you struck him. He said that, not you. He says he turned around and assaulted you. So I'm granting you your judgment for $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Parties on Senna versus McClain. Step forward, please.
37-year-old Deborah Sena is suing 39-year-old Debbie McClain. Deborah charges that Ms. McClain failed to honor an agreement to enter her daughter Christina in a beauty pageant. Debbie McClain says there was no arrangement. The money was for a sponsorship.
Order, all rise. Quiet in the courtroom, please. Yeah, this is case number 237 on the calendar in the matter of Senna versus McClain. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Let me see if I understand this complaint. Miss Senna, you have a young daughter.
Yes, I do.
This is your daughter, Miss McClain.
Yes, ma'am.
Your daughter had been involved in modeling as a younger child, and probably even today. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
According to your complaint, Miss Senna, don't look at your papers. Look at me. According to your complaint, you two ladies became acquainted. You were approached by the defendant, asked if you would like to sponsor her daughter in an upcoming beauty pageant. Is that right?
Yes.
And what was the sponsorship cost?
Well, I guess the sponsorship was, I asked her, she said $185.
So that's what it cost to sponsor.
Ma'am.
And what else did she say to you?
That she would put my daughter in a beauty pageant that she was running, that she was having, and she would be able to get my daughter into another beauty pageant if she was to get into this first one, which was at the Fallbrook Community Center.
So according to you, you had an agreement with her that if you sponsored her daughter at the cost of $185, she would make sure that your daughter would be in a beauty pageant.
Yes.
And that's why you sponsored her.
Yes.
And you say...
And I say, yes, she did sponsor my daughter. My daughter had gone to her, she was babysitting for her at the time, and she sponsored my daughter to be in a beauty pageant. My daughter did go into the beauty pageant. She won the beauty pageant. At about 2 months later, I did tell her I was going to have a preliminary pageant for another state pageant, and that I would in turn let her daughter go into the pageant at no cost. But at the time my daughter had won this one, we didn't even know we were going to have a beauty pageant. At the time I was supposed to have the beauty pageant, I didn't have it. My mother's mother, my grandmother, had died, and I couldn't have the pageant, and I had to go to Kentucky for the funeral, so I didn't.
So there was never another pageant which this lovely little girl in purple could participate?
Deborah Sena had called me quite a few times and said that she, once she found out I was not going to have the Fallbrook pageant, said that I promised her. I said, I told you you could be, your daughter could be at a pageant at no cost, and I told her that I would just put her daughter in the state pageant with no.
So there was some sort of an understanding that her daughter was going to be in a beauty pageant with your assistance.
Not at the time of her sponsorship. That was not a gift. That was a gift to Casey. It was 2 months later. I told her I would, since she did sponsor Casey, I would put her daughter in a pageant, but that was
Well,
not a
Miss Saina?
stipulation.
That's
not true, Your Honor.
I want to know at the time that you, by the way, I assume you have proof of this $185.
Yes,
You have a
ma'am.
cancel check?
Yes.
Well, then could you tell me why you're suing her for $300 and some odd dollars?
Well, $185 was for the check, and then $100 for my daughter. And
$100 for your daughter for what?
Just because my daughter talked about this pageant. Her daughter, Casey, came to my house and babysat and had my daughter all pumped up for this pageant. She had my daughter walking with books on her head, getting her ready and telling her what to do for this pageant. She talked about it to her friends. She was heartbroken about this.
So it's for sort of punitive damages that you're asking money for?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And you're countersuing her for $2,500 for some nonsense because you say she harassed you?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, how did she harass you?
When she would call my house repeatedly, sometimes 3-4 times a day. She would swear. The swearing was unbelievable. She came into my place of employment, went to my boss, stated facts that weren't true.
Like what? Were you there?
Yes, ma'am.
What did she say?
She said that I was a bitch and I was a whore, and that I had no reasonable reason to be a mother, and that I owed her money, and that Ron, my boss, should get the money from me. And she would call my house.
Does that sound familiar?
No, absolutely not, Your Honor. That is a big lie. That is a big lie.
You?
Your Honor. Well, the things on the phone, she repeatedly called me. She told me I was a whore just like my mother. Called me an F&B. And I've been taught to give adults respect, but I expect respect from them. And it's something me and my mother have not been getting from her.
Did you make those statements to this young lady?
No, ma'am, I did not. I called, and Casey told me on the telephone, I cannot talk to you about this.
Are you in a business?
I have a business, Tony's Masonry. It's my husband's business.
When you sponsored someone,
yes,
their name appears on a program or something. Do you have that program?
I never got a program, ma'am.
Do you have it?
I don't have a program. It happened 1.5 years ago. We recently moved 5 months ago. But I do have a copy of a normal sponsorship agreement saying that there was no refunds are available.
Just a second. That's not what I'm asking you. I asked you one thing. I asked you for apples. You gave me mashed potatoes.
I'm sorry.
Okay? What I asked you is, I assume, put it down. I assume that if your daughter is in the pageant industry, that you keep a scrapbook. And I assume that you keep all the memorabilia from all of her pageants. That only sounds like common sense to me. Put your hand down. I'm really smart. So I assume you have all of the books from your daughter's pageant.
5 months ago we moved, and I told Casey to get rid of all of that stuff she was collecting.
How many pageants have you been in?
Around 15.
That's not a lot to keep. Especially one that you won. Do you understand what I mean? Do you understand what I mean? Especially a pageant that you won, you don't get rid of. You keep this, but you keep the crown, but you don't keep the program.
Right.
That doesn't sound logical to me. Why didn't you pay for this $185 yourself?
I didn't even start this process. Casey went to Deborah and asked for a sponsorship.
Did you initially have the conversation with her?
Yes, I did.
When?
One time I was babysitting for her daughter.
And what did you say to her?
I said, Debbie, I'm entering a beauty pageant, and if I would like to be in it, I have to pay for it myself or figure out a sponsorship to go into the pageant. So I asked Debbie, since I was babysitting her daughter, if she would sponsor me. And not at that time, I said that she could be in a beauty pageant.
And what did she say?
She said she'd love to. And it was out of her business, too.
She said she would love to.
Right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I really wish Debbie Sinha would shut up.
You know what? That's respect.
Well, you don't give me respect, Debbie.
You don't deserve it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 37-year-old Deborah Saina is suing 39-year-old Debbie McLean over a beauty pageant which her daughter Christina was to enter. Debbie McLean says she was paying for her daughter Casey's sponsorship, not for Deborah's daughter Christina to be in another pageant.
So when did she have a conversation with your mother?
believe she had a conversation with my mother on the phone, seeing if it was fine, see if I if I asked Debbie. And then we went to her house to pick up the check.
Together?
Yes.
Does that sound right to you?
Your Honor?
Miss Saina, look at me.
Does not.
She did not speak to you first
No, she did
about
not.
it?
No, she did not. I spoke to her mother on the telephone. We were talking about sponsoring. One was contingent to the other.
No, that's not what I asked you, Miss Saina.
And, I'm sorry.
This young lady says that she asked you first to be her sponsor.
No, she did not. Her mother and I spoke about it on the telephone while I talked to her mother about having her daughter babysit for me. That's how that happened.
Okay, we don't have to take very long with this. Giving your story the best possible scenario. Okay, your story. You agreed to sponsor her, and she agreed that in the future, sometime in the future, your daughter was going to be in a pageant that she was going to run.
No, ma'am.
No, yes, that's exactly what happened. It wasn't the same pageant, it was a second pageant.
It was the Fallbrook pageant.
It was another pageant that never took place. Is that correct?
Right.
All right. So the other pageant never took place, and therefore she could not fulfill that part of even assuming your agreement unless you can establish to my satisfaction that it was owing to her fault and her fault alone, her negligence, that that second pageant didn't take place. You're out $185.
If
you sponsored her daughter. Now, I'm not 100% satisfied that both of these young ladies telling me the truth. And that includes you. You understand me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Because as sweet and as adorable as you look, I think you're a pretty good actress. That's because I have daughters.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I know daughters can be pretty good actresses. But Miss Saina, I know your daughter is disappointed. I know she's unhappy, but you didn't have a writing with this lady that one was contingent on the other.
I have a witness that heard her say this in my house when I presented the check to her.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do, ma'am. She's
I'd
right
like
here.
to hear the witness.
My name is my friend's name is Maria.
Maria, you step up here. Now, Maria what?
She came over to
No, Maria what? Your
Maria
last name?
Cazares. Cazares? Your Honor, she came to Deborah's house, and we had just gotten there, and
who's we?
Me and Deborah, and she came over, and her daughter came in the house, and she says her daughter and Christina went outside to look at the pool, and she said Deborah gave her the check, and Debbie said, "Okay, and this is for you're sponsoring my daughter, and in return, I will put Christina in the Fallbrook pageant."
Are you telling me that she said, in return, are those the words, listen to me, are those specifically the words that you remember as you stand here under oath? You remember her saying to you, and in return, I will put your daughter?
Yes,
Maria.
I do, Your Honor.
What makes you remember that so vividly, madam?
Because it was a big thing with Christina. She was telling everybody. She was,
I didn't ask you why it was important to the child. I asked you, what makes it so clear in your mind that you can stand here today under oath and you tell me that you specifically remember her using the words, in return for?
Because I remember her saying that.
And how long ago was this?
In May.
Mm-hmm. Of this year?
Yep. Not this year, 96.
I'm not sure whether I believe that. In any event, I think that this is a sad situation. Did you write a business check for this $185?
Yes, I did, ma'am. Your Honor?
Yeah.
May I say something, please?
Sure.
When Deborah came into my home and Maria heard her, Deborah the kids were in the backyard, and she came in the house, and she took my check so fast, and she did say she's going to, in return, put my daughter into her beauty pageant.
Yep, she didn't have a beauty pageant.
And she took out.
Yes, she didn't. She didn't have one. Did she have a beauty pageant that she didn't put your daughter in?
No, but that's why I did the sponsoring.
No, but just a second. Did she have a beauty pageant that she didn't put your daughter in?
No. And that's why I did it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Her daughter is one of the biggest brats I've ever known in my life.
She's a brat. Look at you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 37-year-old Deborah Sena is suing 39-year-old Debbie McClain. Deborah charges that Ms. McClain failed to honor an agreement to enter her daughter Christina in a beauty pageant. Debbie McClain says there was no arrangement. The money was for a sponsorship.
Did she have a beauty pageant that you didn't put your daughter in?
No. And I really feel really taken, and I'm sorry that it had to be this way, because I just wouldn't be here if I didn't feel that I was, you know, I wouldn't be...
Taken?
Right.
You think that Miss Sena feels as if she was taken? Miss McClain?
I believe she feels like she was taken.
Okay. Now, she feels as if she was taken because she was led to believe by you, led to believe that her little girl was going to have an opportunity to be in a beauty pageant. That's correct? Is that correct?
She believes, yes, ma'am.
Is that correct? Okay. And you did not fulfill that part of the agreement because you say your grandmother died.
It wasn't a part of the agreement at the time of the sponsorship.
Let us assume she believed that based upon everything, that was why she was giving you $185.
That's what she believes, yes, ma'am.
Right. Now, you say you led some credence to that because you, in your answer, say, well, the other pageant didn't take place because I had some personal problems.
I said she could be in it at no cost 2 months later. Yes, ma'am.
At no cost because you were arranging it.
Yes, ma'am.
But then you didn't arrange it.
I was unable to fulfill my obligation having the pageant, and it did upset quite a few young ladies, and it upset me that I couldn't have it.
Good.
But I did have a
But none of those
family.
other ladies that it upset had given you $185.
Had given my daughter, yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you can understand why she's upset.
Yes, ma'am, I can.
And you can understand why her little girl is upset.
Yes, ma'am, I can.
All right? All right. Miss Sena, I'm not exactly sure that I'm getting the truth, the 100% truth from you or from you. I know what you thought. And I know you thought that you got taken, because I don't think otherwise you would have sponsored, you would have given her a check for $185. How much did you used to pay her for babysitting?
I paid her $350, and I always paid Casey really good because my daughter always liked her. And I really do feel taken.
Why didn't you save the money from babysitting for sponsor money?
Because I used all the extra, like all my babysitting money as what a regular teenager would do.
Well, why didn't you save it for your sponsorship?
Because when I was babysitting her, I really didn't think I was going to be in this beauty pageant. It was at the last minute thing.
Oh, why was it at the last minute?
Because I didn't get the entry form until late.
So that you didn't have any money?
Right, for myself.
So, and you wanted to do it very badly?
Yes, I did.
Now, now the common sense part is coming together, so that you went to her immediately.
Right.
This lady immediately.
Right.
All right. Very good. I understand.
Judge Judy is ready to rule.
All right, Miss Sena, I do believe that you are entitled to $185 from these people. I don't believe you're entitled to any more. I don't believe you're entitled to compensation for your daughter's pain and suffering or anything else. And I am dismissing your counterclaim for $2,500. So, I'm going to tell you one other thing.
Yes, ma'am.
Telling the truth is very important.
Yes, ma'am, I know.
Some people have a special gift. They may be very dumb at certain things, but some people can tell when somebody is lying to them. It's one thing when older people lie. Sometimes I think that it's reasonable. It certainly sets a bad example. It certainly sets a bad example.
She is not lying, Your Honor.
Well, I'm not so sure.
Well, I'm not sure.
I'm not so sure that the agreement that you two ladies made with your daughter, either present or outside the room, gave this lady the distinct impression that if she was going to shell over $185, it was with the understanding and assurance that it's a future date and a future pageant. Her little girl was going to have the same opportunity to go around and prance around on stage and be in a pageant. And that's why you showed her how to walk, showed her how to move, showed her how to do all those things. That's what the inducement was. That was the inducement.
That was, but it was not a contingency. At the time when she sponsored my daughter, I did not even know I was going to have a beauty pageant.
Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff for the amount of $185. That's all.
You're not excused. You may step out.
That's not
Let's get out of here.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Parties on Fuller versus Lewanig. Step forward, please.
51-year-old Doris Fuller is suing chemical engineer Ray Lewanig to recoup costs for supporting his daughter, Roshika Lewanig, now 18. Ray says Doris took his daughter without permission.
Order. All rise.
Your Honor, this is case number 374 on the calendar in the matter of Fuller versus Lewanig. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may have a seat.
Miss Fuller, you're suing the defendant because you allege that he owes you money for the year that his daughter lived with you.
That's correct.
Now, this was sort of an interesting story. You took her into your home without his permission. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, why don't you tell me how that came about?
She wanted to finish her last year of high school down here to play basketball.
Where is down here?
She was at Paramount at the time, but I live in Dominguez District. She ran away before her father moved to Victorville with her friend. Her father went over there, caused a big scene, had the police involved.
Because his daughter ran away?
Yes. Rashika called her mother in Arkansas and had...
Sir, you and your daughter's mother are divorced, is that right?
We were divorced, ma'am. That's right.
And your daughter was living with you?
She let me keep her for the meantime. She wants to go down.
She was, in fact, at the time that we're talking about, living with you when she ran away.
Yes, ma'am.
Which is the daughter? That's you.
Rashika.
Now, how did you get involved with her?
Through basketball. I met Rashika when she was playing basketball with my daughter. I was the team mother for Paramount's basketball team. They didn't have a lot of support, and I went to all the girls' games. I took the
So that's how you got involved with her?
Yes.
So now we're up to a point where she ran away from her father's house.
Yes.
And somehow contacted you.
Yes.
And you said you can come and live with me.
I talked to her mother in Arkansas.
You didn't speak to her father?
No.
You called her mother?
Rashika called her mother.
Rashika called her mother, with whom she wasn't living at the time?
No.
And her mother gave you permission for her to live in your house?
I have the notarized. She came the next day. I have the authorization.
Okay. And she signed papers, her mother signed papers for her to live in your house?
Yes, and then we went to court, and the court gave me temporary guardianship.
Okay. With her mother's permission?
Yes.
But according to your papers, not with her father's permission?
No.
Father was not happy about this. Is that right, sir?
That's true. He said he didn't know where she was.
So how long did she stay with you?
From June the 17th, 1996 until June the 22nd, 1997.
Now, according to your papers, she played you like a violin.
Yes, she did.
You didn't know that at the time.
No. I looked at that beautiful face, Your Honor, and I believed everything she told me.
Now, you believed everything, all the bad things she told you about her father, that he didn't understand her, that he was verbally abusive to her. You believed all that?
When I first met Rashika, I could see that she was unhappy. She was crying a lot. I could tell she was an unhappy child.
So, Ms. Fuller, my question to you is, you interfered with a family situation. Because when she finally left your home,
yes,
she went back to her father, right?
Yes, after she graduated from high school, she went to college.
But she went back to her father?
Yes, he gave her a car and offered her money, and she left.
Whatever, she went back to her father.
Yes.
So this was a teenager in rebellion. She left her mother's house, right, to go to live with her father? Is that right, sir?
Yes, ma'am. That's true.
How long have you been divorced from her mother?
Oh, about 15 years.
And how long had she lived with her mother?
14.
And how many years did she live with you?
About a year and a half until she met Miss Fuller.
Yes.
Rashika's mom told me that she was financially unable to care for Rashika and her sister Renisha. That's when she sent them out here. This is what her mom said.
Doesn't sound right to me. You don't send two children to their father after they've been living with you for 15 years or for 14 years because you're financially unable to take care of them.
She said she had had an accident and was hurt and wasn't able to take care
Well,
of them.
when you met her, when she came to sign the guardianship papers,
yes.
Did she appear to be injured to you?
Maybe.
What does maybe mean?
She seemed to, like she had a head injury maybe.
She didn't have a head injury that prevented her from signing these guardianship papers.
No.
Or from understanding that she was turning over legal custody to you of her daughter.
She told me she was unable to care for her. Her father was abusive.
All right. I assume you have at least one teenage daughter?
Yes.
Just so you know that teenage daughters can be difficult sometimes? Or yours aren't difficult?
My youngest one wasn't.
And what about the older one?
Well, they did good. All my children graduated from high school.
I didn't
never
ask-
really had any problems with them.
Well, then you should be written up in Guinness Book of Records because
I
most
was
women,
very lucky.
most mothers who have teenage daughters know that they're a little difficult at times.
I was very lucky.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
At the time, I felt he didn't understand, but now that I see it, and I'm, in college, and I see my sister going through getting disciplined, I understand she needs it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Doris Fuller wants Ray Lewanig to pay her for taking care of his daughter, Roshika. Ray says she took his daughter without his permission.
Now, I want to know why you think that this man ought to pay you anything.
Well, for child support, when the courts gave me temporary custody of Rashika, the judge sent us, Ray and Rashika and I, to go talk. We went to the IHOP in Compton. He offered me $400 a month child support. I said that was fine. Rashika and her dad left. When she came back, I asked her for the check. She was hesitant to give it to me.
What month was this?
In May.
That was a month before she left.
Yes.
Well, why are you suing for $4,200 if I believe you that you say he agreed to pay you $400 a month and then his daughter went back to him within a month? Why should I give you $4,200?
I had her for a year.
Right.
And when she came to play basketball...
I'm not interested in anything else. What I'm really concerned about is you took this child without her father's permission. You discussed the matter with her mother, not her father. Her mother gave you guardianship. You made no attempt, according to what you've told me, to get some child support from her mother, who was the one...
She sent me $75.
She sent you $75. You're suing him for almost $5,000. She was the one who gave you permission to take her daughter without his consent. He didn't even know where she was. Is that right, sir?
That's very true, ma'am.
Were you collecting welfare for her?
No.
Who was covering her medical insurance?
Her father paid her medical insurance. The one time I took her to the doctor, they gave me a $5 payment and I paid that.
So she wasn't on anybody's welfare budget?
No.
Okay, sir. How much money did you give her in total to take care of your daughter after you knew where she was?
Well, I tried to negotiate with her because I saw my daughter in good, condition.
When was that? What month was that?
In May, right after the court hearing, we went to IHOP and I offered, look, I can only give you $200 a month in front of her because as far as I know, she was with her mom.
You mean before that you thought she had been with her mother?
Uh-huh.
And then you went to court.
I went to court.
This was in May of '97.
Yes, ma'am, May of 97.
And in May of 97, you went to IHOP and had this discussion about support. And how much money did you give her in May?
I didn't give her anything. I offered her 200. And
Right.
I thought she agreed, so I went to the bank with her, gave her the 200.
Did you give?
I explained it to her. I cannot afford 400 because I just moved out. I got 2 young kids now of my own from my new marriage. And she's not in my budget because I know she's gone.
Okay.
Gone back to her mom.
Step up here. You're the daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you go back to your father's house?
After we had in court, we all went out to breakfast and we cried. Sorry.
It's okay. You were ready to go home?
Yeah.
Hmm?
I had seen my little sister and my little brother, and I wanted to, and my father, we talked things out, and I wanted a relationship with him again.
You think that part of the problems that you were having with your dad that caused you to leave were at least in part your fault?
When I was with my mom, I never got disciplined. So when he disciplined me, I rebelled.
When you say he disciplined you?
Grounded me.
Grounded you?
Took my car away.
And your mom never did those things?
No.
That wasn't wrong of him to do, right?
No. Well, at the time, I felt...
You thought it was?
He was just all against me, and he didn't understand, you know, and... But now that I see it, and I'm, you know, in college, and I see my sister going through, getting disciplined, I understand she needs it. Thank you.
Miss Fuller, let me tell you what you did, madam. You interfered in a family situation. You had no business interfering with this family situation. Took it upon yourself to take this man's daughter, who was living with him, and he seems like a perfectly reasonable, responsible man, and according to his daughter, did absolutely nothing but discipline him in reasonable ways. Grounded her, took away her car, and she wasn't used to it because her mother never did any of those things. Now, the fact that she, to you, was upset and crying and seemed unhappy with her father, that's not a reason for you to interfere in a family situation. I mean, if you took some time and if you let the situation take some time, there is a possibility that father and daughter could have worked things out. But instead, you hopped in there.
Your Honor?
Yes.
When Rashika called me, she told me her father did not have custody of her. Her mother had custody of her.
Miss Fuller, you knew she was living with her father?
Yes. We went to go get Rashika. Her mother and I went to go get Rashika. We took the Southgate police with us because Rashika and her mother said they were afraid for us to go there by themselves because he's a violent man and he had a lot of guns in the home.
Well, listen to me.
The Southgate police with us.
Listen to me. That was all a lot of baloney. She's back with her father. So whatever stories you got from either Rashika or her mother were not true, because if they were, and if she was genuinely fearful of her father because he has a violent temper and because he has guns in the house, she would not be living with him now.
Judge Judy is ready to rule. And later today...
So you got to learn to get your story straight. Before you gave me some baloney story about you said, yes, he was going to pay her back, but then your check was all messed up and you couldn't pay her back. Come on, get it together.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Doris Fuller wants Ray Lewanig to pay her for taking care of his daughter, Roshika. Ray says she took his daughter without his permission.
You butted in. And if you butted in, you got to pay. So your lawsuit against this man is dismissed. And I suggest to you that before you take in any other teenagers and take them away from their custodial parents, and he was at that time the custodial parents, you better make darn sure that there is a good and valid reason, and that sometimes means leaving it up to professionals and stepping back. You're a biological stranger from this family. He didn't give his consent. He had absolutely no reason to have his child removed from his custody, other than the fact that, according to her, and I believe her, he disciplined her by grounding her when she did something wrong and by taking her car away. He's her father. He has an absolute right to do that. So, your lawsuit against him is dismissed. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She took it upon herself. I told her again and again, this is blood related. You're nobody to us.
You hadn't seen her
I'm
for
the father.
11 months, Ray.
Of course I never saw her because you hid her from me.
No, I didn't.
And now the next case.
Parties on Sanders versus Murray. Step forward, please.
23-year-old Heather Sanders wants her former good friend, 25-year-old Jennifer Murray, to pay her back for the repairs on her car.
You two were good friends?
Yes.
How long had you been friends?
For about 2 years, 2.5 years.
And Miss Murray, you had an accident with your car?
Yes.
What kind of an accident did you have?
A repair problem. The car broke down and it needed some repairs.
So you asked the plaintiff if she would put it on her credit card?
Well, actually, I told her that the car broke down and she said that she could help me out, and then I agreed.
Doesn't sound 100%.
Well, my job messed up my check. I didn't have it, so I had to wait another 2 weeks until I get paid.
So I
Yeah. That's when I gave her the
No days off. Late nights, cold coffee, staring at the wall. They told me I would fail, told me I would fall, but I locked the door. Yeah, I embraced the pain. No sun in my sky, man. I walk through the rain. Every single drop make me a beast. From the dark side now, looking at the east. They were talking big, I was working quiet. Now my success is making all the riot. No days off, man. I sweat for the crown. Built it from the mud, never going down. Blood in my tears, power in my veins. Broke all the rules, broke all the chains. Yeah, you see the shine, but you don't know the grind. Leaving every single doubt way back behind. They sleep while I work, they talk while I run. I don't stop grinding till the whole job is done. No handouts.
Pay back small amounts, small payments, just as long as the statement was covered for the month. And that the reason you didn't pay her back all the money is because then she said she wanted it all back at one time. So you got to learn to get your story straight.
That is what happened.
Well,
But
you
the
didn't tell
very-
me that before. Before you gave me some baloney story about you said yes, she was going to pay her back, but then your check was all messed up and you couldn't pay her back. Come on, get it together. Okay. Judgment in this case is for the plaintiff in the amount of $576.14. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy,